Alright, I think we are live. I believe. Hang on. Just, doing a little something. Just gonna let you guys get tuckered in. I'm not turning on my light this time because, it kind of, I don't know, it fucks up with my focus. I don't like having the camera light on. So I'm just gonna leave it off. Whatever. I feel more comfortable with it off because my eyes aren't like struggling to see shit. But hello everyone, hello. Looks like, knock on wood, we're gonna have a stable connection today. Thank God. But this stream tonight is gonna be centered around fucking Birds of Prey reviews. Bad ones, which is basically any positive review. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying you can't love the film. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when people who try to make reviews, positive reviews for Birds of Prey end up falling flat on their face because they can't explain why it's a good movie. They can only say they like it, which is fine. Like I said, that part is fine. But it's like they have to force themselves to, okay, like, because there's a difference between liking a movie and and you trying to explain why it's good. Like, those don't, just because you like a movie doesn't make it good. It just means you like it. It checked all the boxes in your brain. You responded positively to it, and that's about it. Like, but that doesn't make the movie good. And I think it's the same here with Birds of Prey. I sifted through 2 out of 3 of these reviews. And some of them are like, those two, the 2 I looked at were so goddamn delusional. Because it's like they were just trying so hard to find nice things to say about it. Or they just interpreted something terrible as something, as a positive for the film. And I'm just sitting there like, no. And that criticism doesn't work because you kind of misinterpret that. You know? Ugh. Like, you will never in life see me do like any 50 Shades of Grey reviews and like saying how they're underrated classics. Like, not ever. But at the time when they came out, I did enjoy them. I enjoyed them for what they were. But like, you check my channel, there are no fucking reviews for these movies for that reason. Because I understood I could separate my enjoyment from the actual quality of the film, which is what these motherfuckers just cannot do. I said, fine with people liking Birds of Prey, but don't try to fucking explain. Don't try to go into some college dissertation about why it's actually a good movie, because it isn't. Sarah Mayhall, $5 super chat, was watching one of your other live streams till this notification came up. Love you, JL. You cure my sadness. God bless. Thank you. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. Jay, it's a movie about a hyena kisser intended for movie pop. What was I saying? Minette32? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Why are you good at editing? I don't know. Like, here's how I got into it. I was like an avid fan of SVU, like Law and Order SVU, and people were making fan videos of Law and Order SVU. And I was like, I gotta get into that. It looks so fun to like make these videos. So I started looking up tutorials on how to do certain shit. I downloaded Sony Vegas, the whole spiel. And I just learned it from there. Like, some of it's self-taught and some of it's just like tutorials. It's like a back and forth between, it's been a back and forth between that for about 13 years, I think. Oh, Kaylee's Nerd, $1 super chat. Thank you. But anyway, yeah, I couldn't explain it to you because sometimes I'm just like winging it with some of my effects. Like certain weird shit that just comes out of nowhere. Like if you're an avid watcher of mine, like if you notice, like I said, effects that just come out of nowhere, that's just me experimenting. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Anyway, yeah, let's get to it. I watched Birds of Prey 6 hours ago to prepare for this because I had forgotten. I had only watched it once when it first came out. I had forgotten every fucking thing about the movie. So I had to rewatch it. And oh my god, it's actually worse now because now I noticed new shit that I didn't notice before. The fight choreography. I mean, I did say it was shit when it first came out, but that's only because I was honing in on like one scene. I was baffled by how come the fucking fight choreography is bad in this one scene, but is decent in the other scenes. But then I figured out, like I said, it's the fight choreography isn't even good in the good scenes because I've been noticing things. Ugh, I was actually more vigilant this time. So yeah, all right, let's just get on to it. And the first Birds of Prey review is Birds of Prey is fantabulous by High Top Films. So, and judging by the first frame, well, yeah, we're in for some content. Yeah, let's get to it. I'm not gonna talk anymore. Let's go. I got 3 reviews lined up. I'm going from the shortest review to the longest. And if I don't fill up the required 3.5 hours that I usually do, then I'm going to go look for another one. Because this one's only like 8 minutes. The other one's like 15 to 17 minutes. And the other one is nearly 30 minutes. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Because I usually stop the stream around midnight. And then I'm done. So if we're at 11 o'clock, and if we're at 11 o'clock and I'm all out of reviews, I'm done with all of them, I'm just gonna go find another one to reinforce, like to fill up the time that we have left. But anyway, let's get to it.
Special thanks to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this video. It's 1 a.m. I just got back from seeing Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, and I'm in love.
Mecha Boo, $10 super chat. I dare you ignore this. P.S. You're welcome. Thank you, Mecha Boo. I'm in love with this film. All right, I keep forgetting High Top Films puts in that really like pretentious B-roll. It's like that over like this over editing for no reason.
You know what's great and gives my cynical, annoying ass hope for the future of comic book movies? What Warner Brothers and DC have been doing with these beloved characters and with their filmmakers. They have been on a roll lately.
Have they? Fabio Correa, sorry. $5 super chat. Nothing's memorable about Birds of Prey. Thanks for the chance to join you laugh at these bad reviewers. Yeah, nothing's memorable about it because it's 6 hours later and I still don't remember shit. I just watched it again and I don't remember shit.
With letting directors come in and, frankly, do whatever the fuck they want. Long gone.
And I'm sorry, but like it doesn't feel like someone did it whatever the fuck they wanted with this film. It feels like just a complete ripoff of Deadpool. They wanted to do their R-rated thing, and then they just did another Deadpool. It doesn't feel original at all. I don't know, where are you getting this from?
Gone are the days where they screw over filmmakers and then bring in other filmmakers and then screw them both over to make soulless studio made in a boardroom garbage. Last year we got Shazam, which I adored, Joker, which I didn't quite adore as a film but respected the hell out of for being made, and now here we are with Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is unique, it's spunky, it's beautifully shot, it's
It's spunky, alright. It's hella spunky.
extremely well crafted and insanely creative. Birds of Prey.
It's not creative. It's not fucking creative. It's bad. That's why you think it's creative. Because they don't do anything correctly. It's so creative because they don't do anything right.
It is like a colorful glitter bomb filled with Joker gas exploded onto the screen. This feels like a passion project, a film made purely out of love from Margot Robbie, screenwriter Christina Hodson, and director Kathy Yan. This is their movie. It's not Warner Brothers, it's not DC's, it's a movie made by artists and not by a corporation.
Yeah, that's why that's why it has a feminist message that teabagged, like mercilessly fucking teabags you. Because this isn't a studio film, this is an art film. Even though, like I said, studios are notorious now for rejecting films that don't have a social message in them. And you kind of have to have one. It's kind of required for filmmaking now. Haven't you noticed that movies that shouldn't have a social issue suddenly has one? Like you see an adaptation of something and you're like, why the fuck does this have feminism in it? Like that Winx shit on Netflix. I'm sure there was no mention of feminism in the original I think cartoon series, but they say mansplaining and all this other bullshit. And they like had this a lot of fucking this weird dynamics between girls and guys in that show. I mean, I've only seen like half the first episode. No, I've seen 80% of the first episode. Well, you know, I might do a little something on that one of these days. Not gonna promise anything, but anyway, like they shoehorn in all this shit. That's a studio decision. That is not. I'm not saying that there aren't any female filmmakers who won't do that. I'm not saying that female filmmakers won't do that. But it's totally a studio decision. Either she came to him with the idea for, let's make Harley Quinn feminist. Let's make her obnoxious feminist. Let's make every man piece of shit in film. And then they went along with it because, hey, oh, we want to do the same thing. Oh, we're on the same page. And made her think that it was her idea. Like, it was all her idea. That she would be completely in charge. Anything Vash the Ashtray, $5 super chat. High Top Films is like every other cringe and pretentious video essayist. Plus, he's got a super punchable face, as you'll see in the video. Oh, thank you.
We live in a society where a lot of these movies and comic-based properties feel the same. They may be different in tone, story, and genre, but for some reason, to me at least, I'm not as excited by them as I used to be. I may be invested in these characters, but I find myself not being genuinely invested in the filmmaking and artistry behind the camera. But not with Birds of Prey. This has more in...
See, this one has color, and people died, even though it's R-rated. And Harley Quinn is a fucking psychopath. She doesn't really kill anybody. Not really. In this film, if you really pay attention. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. It just took a poo on Alex's mom and sold it to DC and called it Teen Titans. I'm super creative.
Common with Kick-Ass, Tarantino, and Guy Ritchie films than it does with the standard superhero.
What?
It has more in common with behind the camera, but not with Birds of Prey. This has more in common with Kick-Ass, Tarantino, and Guy Ritchie films than it does with the standard superhero blockbuster. The visuals in the...
Maybe because it's not a... Number one, that's because it's not a superhero film any fucking way. Because Harley Quinn's a villain. So can we please stop calling it a superhero film and call it a comic book film? Because that's more accurate. But yeah, oh, it doesn't have the same formula as the fucking movies with heroes. This villain movie, this R-rated villain movie, doesn't have anything in fucking common with the PG-13 superhero films. Really? Really? I didn't know that. And like I said, they just fucking copied Deadpool. It's just a Deadpool movie with Harley Quinn. And other bitches. That's it. That's it. They wanted their own, like, Deadpool moment. Because they were still trying to jack Marvel at this point. Because they couldn't come up with their own shit without getting confused. It's got more in common with Tarantino. That's fucking hilarious.
in this movie are colorful, they're purposeful, they're gorgeous. The production design, the insane stunts, the blocking, the cinematography by the legend himself, Matthew Libatique. It's loaded with style, with personality, with soul, and none of that ever...
Wait a minute. Wait, what movies did he cinematographize?
By the legend himself, Matthew Libatique.
Hi, A Star Is Born, Requiem for a Dream, and Black Swan. If you had told me that before the movie, I wouldn't have really? This is his cinematography? I can't tell. It looks like your average fucking colorful ass comic book film. Like goofy ass it does not look or even resemble any of these films. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's from this cinematographer that means it's awesome and unique, man.
Libatique. It's loaded with style, with personality, with soul, and none of that ever distracts or detracts from the characters. Harley Quinn is a character that can...
Yeah, I know, because people don't really have character in this film. Not really.
Could easily get annoying, become one note, if not handled well, and that's what worried me most going in. She could be played and utilized purely for comedy with little underneath, a ditzy blonde with a Brooklyn accent, the Joker's girlfriend and funny sidekick that he abuses in between his late night love sessions with Batman, and nothing more than that. Luckily, Birds of Prey is smart enough to give us a story and take on Harley where she comes to realize that's exactly what she isn't. She isn't just the Joker's girlfriend, she isn't just a goofy hench girl. She's Harley fucking Quinn, and that's more than enough. That fucking rocks. It rocks and has real dramatic weight. It's subtle, but there's a lot going on behind all the...
It's subtle. I mean, she cries a couple times. I guess that was supposed to be some kind of character development or character arc. She's more than just the Joker's girlfriend. Okay, so if she's more than that, then what the hell is she? Explain it. Tell me, because I didn't get anything. Because it seems like all the times they tried to give her more emotional weight, it seemed like it was forced. Like, she cares about this kid. Why? She's murdered children. Why? What's so special about this fucking kid? She had no real chemistry, but anyway, like, Margot Robbie is good at playing this character. Like, excellently. Like, she plays it excellently. In anyone's hands, she would still kill it. So it doesn't really matter. It, like, performance-wise. But, like, what the fuck? Writing, like, she can have chemistry with anybody, but, like, it still doesn't feel like, I don't feel like, oh, she's really connected with this character. I didn't feel that, because the writing isn't good. The character writing is not good. Sarah Mayhall, a $5 super chat. Harley Quinn is one of those characters that are so overrated. She could be in anything, do anything, and people will love it. He literally just said, Phantom Gleam, sorry, a $5 super chat. She's Harley fucking Quinn. That's who she is, aka the clown with the mallet. Thank you. I mean, I would really love to know, what's her identity apart from being the Joker's girlfriend? Because her identity is basically the same. She's crazy. She's got a Brooklyn accent. She's kooky. She's the exact same character with him or without him. Like, she's badass with him. She's badass without him. She's kooky with him. She's kooky without him. She goes through internal pain with him because she's with him. And she goes through without him. I got more a sense that she was her own character in Suicide Squad. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all don't want to hear that, but Suicide Squad did that shit better. Because you could see her going back and forth between wanting to be away from him and wanting to full on embrace her life with him. And wanting him to be normal. And like, why can't we just both be normal together? I can still have him, but like have a better life, which is what I really want. Because I'm secretly kind of like, I secretly kind of don't want to be this way. Though I'm also resigned to just accept it. I got more of that from Suicide Squad. Now, Suicide Squad, not well done. Not well done. But I gotta say, some character shit with certain characters. Certain characterization in that was better than it was in Birds of Prey. Jake the Surgeon, $2 super chat. They turned Cassandra Cain into a chunkla. They did. Oh my god. Animusu? I'm sorry. Hey, Jay Longbone, who is better in your opinion, Harley or Alice? Well, Harley, definitely. She is annoying as hell.
Ball-busting, glitter-bombing action and charm, and not just with Harley. Each of these women grow into their own, break free from their past, and become ass-kicking warriors that have compassion and empathy. It's not
When do any of them go through a real arc? Fucking tell me. Like, is it basically the same monotone throughout the whole fucking movie? Like, oh, well, like, there's a difference between a character arc and a character going from, like, a character's story going from one point A to point B. Like, at first, Huntress is like, oh, I want revenge, and then she disappears for a big-ass chunk of the movie. And then she doesn't really get revenge. Harley kills Black Mask, whatever. But she hasn't really, I don't know, dealt with anything. Like, how is there any fucking arc with her? She's barely in the fucking movie. So I don't know what you're talking about. Black Canary, she doesn't use her power at first. Because I guess she's afraid of it, ? We don't really get an explanation for that. And later, Rosie Perez is like, you know what you have to do. She literally says it that way. You know what you gotta do. And then she does her power thing, just because Rosie Perez basically told her to. And she kind of had no choice, but, like, I don't understand how that was an arc. It wasn't an arc. They were getting shot at and she had no fucking choice but to use her power. No arc there. Cassandra Cain, she's a short round. She's life on the street. She's got fucking foster parents who don't love her, probably just using her for a check. And she bonds with Harley for some fucking reason. I don't like I said, it all just feels so fucking forced. But she bonds with Harley, and then she's just a kid in a movie. She's somebody to use to bolster the fucking main character. It's just like Baby Yoda. You're just there to be cute and like, oh, look at their dynamic. They're dynamic. There's no like real change between any of the characters. It's just about the dynamic and how cute that is. Mikey Gusler, $10 super chat. Hey, Jay Longbone, how have you been doing? Have you seen the latest teasers for the Snyder Cut? Yes, I have. They look pretty good. The full trailer comes out Sunday. Will you react to it? I might. I don't know. It's rare that I react to things I like. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm jumping the gun saying I'm gonna like it, but I think I'm gonna like it. Can't wait for people saying it's the same movie. People are already saying that, and I think they're full of shit. But anyway, no one really goes through an arc. It's all bullshit. Their storylines just go from point A to point B, but there's no arc. There's no arc. There's no fucking arc whatsoever. Like I said, the relationship between Harley and Cassandra Cain, it's just like it's like Baby Yoda and like that whole dynamic. Like, oh, the loner outsider protagonist who you don't expect to be like a parental figure to a child ends up being a parental figure to a child. And that dynamic, that's all it is. I can't stand when people fucking do this shit every goddamn time. Because it's just about, oh, look at this grizzled person with the cute thing. That's all it is. Like, how does that, like, there is more fucking character development between, like, child and protagonist in fucking Baby Daddy with Adam Sandler than there is in the fucking Mandalorian. Because Adam Sandler goes from being one type of person to another type of person, and you feel that it was a natural progression between point A and point B. There is an arc. But there's no fucking arc in The Mandalorian. There's no fucking arc in Birds of Prey. And they're going to keep fucking repeating this goddamn formula, and there's not going to be an arc in any of those future projects. Fuck this dynamic. Come up with some characterization, motherfucker. Anyway, that was a rant. I'm done. King Bash, $4.99 super chat. Cassandra Cain was a badass in the comic, a badass assassin in the comics. This movie did her more dirty than Deadpool in X-Men Origins. Yeah, I heard like in the comics she's a grown woman who actually does things. Criminal Imagination. I actually liked Big Daddy. Yeah, pretty good movie. Like, and the fact I have to say that it's better than a Mandalorian, that's sad. That's really sad. Well, the dynamic between the kid and Adam Sandler is better than Baby Yoda and what the fuck, Helmet Head, shiny helmet. I don't know what the fuck his name is. I'm gonna just play.
Ham-fisted. It's not forced. This is the story the film is trying to
tell. It is forced. It's fucking forced. How are they different people by the end of the movie? Just fucking tell me. You can't. Rosie Perez is basically the same person by the end of the movie. She just, like, her storyline changes. That's it. That's not the same thing as an arc.
With these characters, and it feels honest. It's truly impressive that 95% of the characters have never appeared on film before, and by the end of this short runtime, I cared about most, if not all of them. Even the
fans of Cassandra Cain would be like, look, she's on camera, like, she's on screen, but, like, this is not the real Cassandra Cain, so you can have her ass back. Like, you could have kept that bitch where she was, because you fucking ruined her. And hearing what I heard about that character, like, yeah, y'all they fucked it up. She's like some short, round pickpocket. That's all she is. She's there to be cute, to be cute next to Harley Quinn. And she's a kid with a foul mouth, and she's got a bad home life, but she's still got a baby face, and she just wants a home. Like, oh my god, how many times have we fucking heard that? Anyway.
Side characters, the cops, the goons, the gangsters, the lowlifes, the schmucks, all have personality that make them memorable. It grounds—
What? Oh, what the fuck are you doing? He said all the cops, all the goons, everybody, lottie-dottie, everybody in the film had personality. Lies. Total fucking lies in here. The only characters that had real personality were like Ewan McGregor, Harley Quinn, maybe that kid, but like that was rare when she wasn't being used for like that dynamic, like I said. And the rest of them were just commonplace fucking thugs and shit. No one had any real personality. Being a stereotype and having personality are also two different things. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. Don't insult Short Round. He was more useful and likable. Kevin Schubert. She's supposed to be mute, by the way. That would have been preferable, actually.
This hyper-stylized punk song of a movie in a Gotham that feels tangible. If I had any—
It's a Gotham that feels tangible. Yeah, because Gotham in the Dark Knight Rises, the Dark Knight series that was basically Chicago, not tangible at all. This Gotham doesn't feel tangible. You know why? Because it doesn't feel like Gotham at all. It just feels like, they filmed the movie in LA. That's great. LA can't be Gotham. There's so many fucking reasons why, but like only like non-specific cities like Chicago, New York. I mean, if they filmed this shit in downtown LA, it would have been more I would like, oh, okay, fine. But it didn't feel like, oh, that's Gotham City. It didn't fucking feel like that. Either you gotta kick it what the fuck, Tim Burton style and create your own Gotham, or like what's his name, Joel Schumacher, and do your own design work for Gotham your own way, or you do it in a fucking major metropolitan city, because there's no other way to, like, a major metropolitan city that's non-specific, because LA is very specific. You can't make that look like Gotham, because you're like, Gotham's really unimpressive as fucking LA. Goddamn. Mecha Boo, it's too bright to be Gotham City. That's one problem. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. Alex also seems to not hold Bop to the same standards as MCU Spider-Man. Interesting. Well, I don't know how he holds the original. I don't know how he holds MCU Spider-Man. But I'm gonna hold y'all to that, since I mean, I'm sure you guys know more about him than I do. Joker's Corner, I love how he contradicts himself about Gotham being a more tangible, realistic one in this that he likes, but in the meantime criticizes and wants something like I do, a more fantasy-based Gotham. Yeah, because, like, yeah, I'm thinking the whole time, I was like, this isn't Gotham. I was like, what city is this? I was so fucking confused, because, like, is this in Gotham still? Is she still in Gotham? Or did she move to LA? Like, where is she at? That was what I was wondering at the whole fucking time. Like, but then they said, oh yeah, it's Gotham. And I'm like, no, it's not. This is like, oh, this is some Hollywood backlot bullshit. I can't stand it. Anyway.
Complaints, it would be that I wanted more from Montoya, Huntress, this version of Cassandra, and that make them memorable. It grounds this hyper-stylized punk song of a movie in a Gotham that feels tangible.
It grounds it? I thought you said it's a punk rock version of a movie. It's all colorful and crazy, but it's grounded? Can't do both, dude.
Had any complaints, it would be that I wanted more from Montoya, Huntress, this version of Cassandra, and Canary, the actual.
I thought you said they were like... I thought you basically said that these characters were, like, well-rounded, at least. Now you're saying, I wanted more for the characters. Yeah, I know you fucking do. Everybody does. Their characters were flat as shit. They were just used to, like, push the fucking narrative along. I don't remember what Black Canary's like as a person. I don't remember what Montoya was like as a person. I don't remember what Huntress was like as a person. Because they didn't have character. They didn't.
Actual birds of prey. This is clearly Harley's movie. It's her journey, and that's great. I just wish we spent more time with the other leads, growing closer to them as characters and as people. What development?
It's almost like it was just a vehicle for Harley Quinn and not an ensemble movie. Like it should have been.
We get, while not being.
I see. That's the thing I would have done. I would have done it like a semi Pulp Fiction type thing, where they all have their separate stories and then they all come together somehow in the end. But like in this, it's like, technically they do have their own separate stories, but it's so sloppy. It's so sloppy. Vash the Ashtray, $5 super chat. Off topic, but I was wondering if you will do videos on the direct-to-video sequels for Cruel Intentions, since you covered the canceled TV show. Probably. Like I said, I got so much other shit to fucking finish. Like, ugh. I hate having a backlog of videos. I remember I used to do, like, videos whenever. And I was like, oh, here's another video, and here's another video, and here's another video. That's why I can't stand starting series of videos. Because then I have to, like, oh, I still have to finish this. I mean, I'm happy I got the, like, the Dracula thing, because I genuinely wanted to get that done because of how shitty I thought the series was. And Gotham High, because that's really funny. We had a blast doing that. But at the same time, it's like, oh, when you don't have, like, an editor you can pay, it gets, like, fucking annoying. Like, I still got this part to do. Damn it. Okay, what the hell? I was going to read someone's comment. Oh, Alexander Medeiros, I think. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Harley's not the leader of the Birds of Prey. She leaves the group at the end. Yeah, and she's a fucking villain. The Lady Guillermo? Oh my god. Am I blind? The only Guillermo. The lady with no real fight training that started crime at 20-something and has been in the middle of sexual abuse. Physical abuse in jail is as good as someone training nonstop since she was 12. Nah. Kevin Schubert, you get to look at women.
being 100% original or groundbreaking is emotionally sincere. Their leads growing closer to them as characters and as people. What development we get while not being 100% original or groundbreaking is emotionally sincere. The cast and creators care about each of these characters, but I wanted more. And that's not—
Do they? Fucking Cassandra Cain demoted to being a fucking child pickpocket. Do they really care? When they made it about a fucking agenda and not like a fucking story.
Not necessarily a bad thing. Give me that Birds of Prey spinoff separate from Harley and I will 100% be there opening night. Black Mask is supervillain Kino. The performance, the reinvention of the character, my favorite DC—
Reinvention of the character. No, it's a demotion. Demotion.
The film villain since Bane. Is he as complex— be there opening night. Black Mask is supervillain Kino. The performance, the reinvention of the character, my favorite DC film villain since Bane. Is he as complex—
All right. Look, I'm not gonna argue against that, but like, you know, I'm just saying it's kind of
or sympathetic as classic cape villains like— favorite DC film villain since Bane. Is he as complex or sympathetic as classic cape villains like Doc Ock or Catwoman? No, but he doesn't need to be. We get enough of his backstory to understand why he is the way he is, and that's plenty. Ewan McGregor—
But his fucking motivations, especially near the end of the film, are goddamn stupid, and you don't know why he's doing anything. Like, there's one point where, like, his character shifts for no reason. I'll get to that later once we get to, like, other reviews. But, like, his character does, like, a shift, a darker shift, for no fucking reason. And then he just changes and then puts the mask on, and I'm like, what? Huh? His motivate, why he is the way he is, but, like, the way he is fucking confusing. Because they want him to make him look like a rich boy bitch baby. But then suddenly he's not, and like, okay, we need to get the, like, it's like, we need to get the fan service in there. So let him put on the mask and let him look like he has, like, the upper hand on the Birds of Prey at first. And then, I don't know, like, they were all over the place with this goddamn character. Jawan Bates, $2 super chat. Hi, Jay, I love the L Word review. Thank you. That Warden, $2 super chat. Of course, he likes Simp Bane.
Tiger is letting completely loose in an almost Jim Carrey, Jack Nicholson Joker kind of way, and it works. It works.
Jim Carrey, Jack Nicholson, hell no. Jim Carrey, all right, whatever. But Jack Nicholson is fucking intimidating. His character wasn't fucking intimidating. Jim Carrey, Jack Nicholson. He's just throwing names out there.
Works like magic. He's scary when he needs to be.
No, he's not. He's only scary once. And it's out of nowhere!
Threatening the entire time and channels the Sionis I know and love. The crime boss that seems like he could explode into a temper tantrum at any second. Like a kid who's
Really? Because Black Mask fans was like, this ain't Black Mask. This is lame.
Xbox is about to break and he's all out of Mountain Dew. A real piece of shit. His relationship and implied relationship with Victor Zsasz is such a unique take. And for those of you who, you know, may get mad at the idea of that, just get the hell out of here. I've seen—
Oh my god, really? You're gonna be that asshole? Their implied relationship. You mean that he's gay? That they're both gay? Or that at least Zsasz is gay for him? Which is the same, kind of, almost the same problem I have with LeFou being gay. But also, it's like, in this movie, it's like the implication that Zsasz just hates women because he's gay and he wants to munch on balls. Like, it has somehow synonymous with his implied homosexuality. I mean, come on, I wouldn't read shit into anything if movies weren't trying to make you read shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this movie, like, deals with themes of misogyny. Blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Why'd you make the fucking most, two of the most hateful people, hateful against women, gay? That That to me seems really fucked up. We want to munch on each other's balls. You know, we hate pussy. That's why we're gonna fucking torture women. So if you want me to read into shit, I can read into some shit myself and throw some little, you know, suggestions out there. Just saying. Ambush Bob, $5 super chat. The only thing cynical about this dude is his love of the movie. Yeah, Victor says like that, like saying that they're both gay but misogynist at the same time, because it feels like, especially with Zaz, that his gayness was tied up into how much he hated women. It's like, why would you see? That's what I'm saying. Why would you make characters one-dimensional? Don't make characters one-dimensional like that, because that means they become like blank slates almost. And I got to project what I'm getting from this character onto them. And I got to come up with my own conclusions about who they are. So it also almost looks like this is some homophobic shit. Like you don't want to fuck women? Clearly you hate them. Clearly you want them dead. You want to slice them up. Make them dance on tables and shit because you're just so gay. Kill Switch Engage. They try to be allies but end up being homophobic. Yeah, it just keeps happening. The same thing with LeFou. That Warden, $2 super chat. This video is proof that he doesn't read comics. Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't. Bobbert Jones. Yeah, Zaz was sick in Gotham, especially compared to this piece of butt cheeks. Yeah. Because I like the actor who plays Zaz. He's actually great in everything else he's ever been in. But this one was like, bruh, you suck in this. You suck so bad in this. This is not, especially like the Zaz from Batwoman. I love that dude. I love that dude. That actor gave a shit. And it seems like the writers gave more of it from Batwoman. Think about that shit. The writers from Batwoman gave more of a fuck about Zaz as a character than the writers in this major motion picture film. Fran Madaraki, $5 super chat. Don't Zaz and Black Mask die in this? Isn't that the barrier gaze trope in action? That's another thing. That's another fucking thing. Thank you, Fran Madaraki, for the super chat and that theory. Yeah, it basically is. Because they're both gay. They're so gay. And he says, if you have a problem with this implication, kiss it. Like, the implication is homophobic, though. It's inherently homophobic if you think about it. That's what happens when you make characters one-dimensional misogynists and gay at the same time. You make it seem like their misogyny is tied up in how gay they are.
As is such.
I'm sorry, like I said, I'm not even fucking playing. There's one scene, like, he refers to women as little birdies, right? And, it seems like he's jealous of, like, every woman every woman that, that Black Mask comes into contact with. Oh, he likes you as little birdie. And he talks about how he's murdered other little birdies and marked up his skin to commemorate every little birdie he's ever killed. And it seems like, yeah, he hates women, and he really, like, he's so gay that he hates women. That's what it feels like. Because this character is so poorly written. So that's how you see it. Like, they didn't intentionally make him so homophobic, make him so misogynistic that he's gay. But that's what it looks like because they're writing his shit. Anyway, let's continue.
A unique take, and for those of you who, you know, make
it it's so unique making villains gay. Get the fuck out of here.
And at the idea of that, just get the.
If you're mad about the fact they implied that Black Mask, a fictional comic book gangster, is gay, if you are seriously mad about it, please unsubscribe. Thanks. Well, I'm never been subscribed anyway. So thank God for that. If you're upset, but like, so people who are just upset about it, like, it doesn't matter if they have a valid reason, like the reason that I just listed. It doesn't matter if they have a valid reason, like being fans of the fucking character and like, okay, this is not the iteration of Black Mask that I want to see on screen. Because this is not Black Mask. This is not how he was portrayed in the comics. This is not optimal Black Mask. I don't want to see this shit. How fucking people complained about Batman versus Superman, like their rendition of Lex Luthor? How many fucking people bitched and moaned endlessly because that motherfucker was a little shit the whole movie? Like, he was twitchy, that stupid long hair, the fact that he was being portrayed by Jesse Eisenberg. How many goddamn people complained? And no one said anything. No one really defended that rendition, because even when I did my little review, I think I was like, I totally understand why no one wants to see this shit. I get it. But I was like, okay, but it's a different rendition. I was on that team too. Like, oh, it's a different rendition, whatever. Which I'm fine with, but like, it seems like people want to see the optimal Black Mask first before y'all try to get fancy. There has been no other on-screen, like, big screen Black Mask, and this is the one, like, we get art house Black Mask. That's the one you start out with, and then you fuck him up. Yeah, people are angry. People get fucking angry when characters they like are fucked up. Big fucking surprise. Michael Wood, $2 super chat. Best critic ever. Love ya. Love you too. Thank you. Phantom Gline, $5 super chat. It's probably Phantom Glean, and I'm fucking mispronouncing this shit. I go back and forth with this. But anyway, $5 super chat. I'll bet if Hollywood makes a gay character straight in a movie, comic or otherwise, High Tops will be losing his rectum. Excuse me, his rectum produce. But yeah, how many fucking people fucking complained that Lex Luthor was damn near completely different? A lot of people. Like, I was fine with that rendition because I understood what they were going for. But at the same time, I understand why people were complaining, because people want to see optimal Lex Luthor first before people start getting fucking experimental. How the fuck are you gonna get experimental with a character when this is our first foray with the character on the big screen? I mean, goddamn. Alexandra, critical, that's how I like pronouncing it, gave Bop a 7 on the moist meter. His opinion's the one I'm going with. It's fun, but not the masterpiece some say it is. I don't even see it as fun, because I just couldn't get into anything. Like, other people can, like, turn their brain off and completely ignore, like, the bad fight sequences and shit, and how annoying the narration is, and how, you know, Harley Quinn is kind of shittier than she was in Suicide Squad. And that's them, you know, whatever. But I just couldn't find any fun in this movie, like none. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. Alex didn't quite care for Batman killing, but doesn't care if other characters are butchered. I don't quite get that one. Yeah, I don't get what you're trying to say there, Jake, but like, it's kind of hypocritical to say it's just a rendition and then go around with Batman versus Superman and be like, well, no, whatever, I don't like the way you did this character and shit. Like, no, but like, rendition is rendition, right? People can do whatever the fuck they want with these characters, right? People can do whatever the fuck they want. It's hypocritical. Yeah, it's hypocritical to go back and forth between Batman versus Superman and Bop and be like, well, like, you know, it doesn't matter if they're gay. It's rendition. It's different. And then say that you don't like that when Batman kills, and you don't like that Lex Luthor is a little pissant. You're like, okay, whatever. It's fucking hypocritical. Be consistent. Equestrian, $4.99 super chat. Kathy Ann deviates from the comics. Critics love that. Zack Snyder deviates. He's the worst human ever. Yeah, basically. People are not consistent with their, people aren't consistent with their outrage. I'm just saying.
The hell out of here. I've seen some comments on a community.
I'm gonna wait to see it. If it's a movie with, if it's just a movie and not more political propaganda, I'll give it a watch. Oh, well, he never watched it.
Post I made where some of my audience.
If it's not another feminist lecture film, I will.
Claims they
but
are.
See it. But look at these comments. They're positively. They got upvotes. Actually, like, I'll give him this. He had the balls to actually show comments with upvotes, because some motherfuckers don't do that. Like, a lot of YouTubers won't do that. They'll just to make people look stupid. They'll pick like the worst, most illiterate comment with no upvotes, and the person doesn't even have a fucking icon. Just to make themselves look better. But he actually used some with upvotes. Oh, good for him. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. Alex made a video called Batman Doesn't Kill and Doesn't Like MCU Spider-Man for not being like the comics. Yeah, like I said, dude's a hypocrite. Dude's a total fucking hypocrite. Oh, you don't like this shit? Get the fuck out of here.
Going to see Birds of Prey.
Feminist agenda plus garbage fire of mischaracterization, hard pass.
Because the film was apparently...
Like, they're not wrong, though. They're not fucking wrong. They were exactly right. They were actually right.
Feminist
it's almost like audiences know when the fuck they're gonna be fucked over.
propaganda.
Birds of Prey is a movie made by badass women starring a group of badass female characters who are deeply flawed and who are trying to come into their own by taking down a powerful evil dickhead white dude, because surprise, there are many powerful dickhead white dudes out there. I'm a white dude and I have no problem with this.
Oh, I'm a white dude, and I think we should be like bastardized in media, and we should be used for propaganda. I'm the good white boy. I'm your good pet. Step on me, mommy. I hate that shit. That is not endearing. That is like the worst shit. Ew. That's gross. Shut up. Self-hatred is not cute. Anyway. Oh, they're just badass females, but like every guy is a piece of shit in the film. Like all of them. And they're not even like, they're not dimensional. They don't get any fucking, except one guy. Like, there's one Asian guy. He gets a pass for fucking over Harley Quinn, even though Harley Quinn would have killed his ass in any other fucking universe. Any other better rendition of Harley Quinn, she would have killed his fucking ass. But he gets some kind of pass for fucking her over near the end of the film because he calls her Lotus Flower and gives her, like he makes good food that she likes sometimes. It's stupid. It's really dumb. But yeah, the man of color gets a pass for being a piece of shit to her. And a group of girls who were talking behind her back, which is, yeah, very convenient. Very convenient. But not propaganda at all. And if it is propaganda, it's fine. As a white man, I am giving them permission to propagandize my people. Bitch. So, there you go. Vash the Ashtray. Yeah, his face is punchable. It really is. I forgot who told me that. But I'm glad you did. You warned me. See what I mean when I said, there he is! See what I mean when I said he has a punchable face? Look at that white boy. Not important says white guilt is pure cringe. Yes, it is. It is. Jeff McClure, step on me, mommy, ruined my life. Oh, like I said, that is, that's gross. You guys are going to the circus, man. Like, that's the thing, though. Birds of Prey is another, like, feminist propaganda movie. Like, I'm sorry, but it is. No male character. Like, all the male characters, not only are they, like, unrepentantly evil, they're dumb. They're so dumb. Like, this, like, the scene with the cops. Like, every scene with cops. They're unrepentant, like, they're fucking dumb as hell. But, like, the one specific scene is when Harley Quinn first walks in and these cops, like, she walks in with a fucking gun in her hand. And they're just sitting there, like, eating donuts, basically looking right at her. They're in her, she's in their line of sight. And they're just there like, yeah, I just totally don't see a girl standing there with a gun. Just dumbasses. Fucking idiots. Oh God! Like the whole movie is like, and there's one there's one detective character who is like cabbage brain dumb, and I'm like, there's no way in hell that guy got to detective status in any universe. I don't give a damn how sexist your police department is. Like, no. Oh, Phantom Glean, $50 super chat. Another point about people passing on a feminist propaganda movie on top of being annoyingly preachy. It is horribly cliche. Oh yeah. It got a cliche real quick. What would High Tops say to someone saying, "Why would I watch a film when I know everything is going to happen in it?" Yep. Oh, Vash the Ashtray, $5 super chat. I'm so sorry for my white male privilege. Peg me, mommy, as my punishment. Oh God. Yeah, there's nothing more gross than that shit. Ugh. Alright, let's get back to it.
I'm not threatened by this. My isn't getting smaller because of this. I support this. This movie's fucking awesome. A lot of us fucking suck. Move on. Have I talked about the action?
Oh, a lot of us white men suck. That means they get to propagandize us. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, if this were Nazi Germany, I'm not comparing. I'm not saying that this is just as bad as Nazi Germany. I'm just saying, if this guy was in Nazi Germany and he were a Jew, like, he'd be like, oh, some of us Jews, and like, and Hitler was like making propagandized movies like this, but with Jewish people, he'd be like the first one. Okay, well, some of us Jews suck anyway. It's just a group of badass Germans doing the motherfucking thing, doing the fucking business. And some of us Jews suck anyway. So, you know, fuck that. And no, my foreskin is not getting smaller because of this. No, my foreskin is not getting longer because of this. Oh my god, what am I doing? Oh, step on me, Hitler daddy, step on me. Do it. Just Jews are just trash.
Not enough. It's raw, it's stylish, and it never gets repetitive or stale. Think John Wick meets Harley with a baseball bat.
Oh, stop. Stop it. It's so fucking embarrassing.
Hit, every bone crunch, every bloody hammer to the face is clear, visible, and impactful.
And near the end of the movie, like, the end of the movie doesn't make sense. That's another reason why the fight scene sucks, because all those motherfuckers, like, the end of the movie, like, the whole thing with a Zionist, whatever the fuck you want to call him, with Black Mask, he says he's creating an army, but then he sends, like, a whole bunch of people in there with no guns, just sticks and shit, and masks, and they all just go, and, like, some of them have, like, katanas and shit, or, like, oh my god. Some of them have, machetes and shit. But that's all they got. Machetes, sticks. None of them have fucking guns. For some reason. Usually in a movie like this, like, oh, hey, let's just bomb the whole fucking building and blow them up while they're inside. Or let's get some rocket launchers. Let's get some AK-47s. But no, they just go in there with, like, sticks and shit. But somehow, for some reason, Zionists and a couple other, like, a small group of men, when they come out of the building and kill everybody else who don't have guns, like, the small group of men with Zionists have guns. Why? Why do they have guns and not the rest of the men? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Makes no fucking sense whatsoever. They should all have guns. They should all have fucking guns, but they don't, for some odd reason. Maybe it's because they know their fight sequences fucking suck, and they know it doesn't make any sense for a bunch of dudes to walk up in there with guns and lose up against a bunch of chicks where only like 2 of them have guns. Doesn't make any sense. We can't have our female characters lose. Vash the ashtray, $5 super chat. High Top has a girlfriend. I can already tell who's the submissive bottom in that relationship. Anyway, yeah, like, the ending scene doesn't make sense because no one has a gun. It doesn't make any fucking... And Zionists, like they say specifically, he is building an army. Well, armies have guns. And you sent these motherfuckers in there without guns. And Warren says, wasn't this movie rated R? Yeah, but here's what I think. They wanted it to be PG-13. But they were like, okay, let's get that Deadpool money and let's make it rated R. Because some of the blood splatter in the movie is totally like CGI blood. And the scene in the police station is very suspicious to me, because Harley Quinn would not fucking just peacefully shoot cops. She would definitely kill all those motherfuckers. Yes, she doesn't. She goes in there with a glitter gun. A glitter gun? Wait, what the fuck? And where did you get it from? Why just a glitter gun? You're a fucking psychopath. You used to kill cops without remorse when you were with the Joker, but suddenly that's changed because you're not with him anymore? Come on. You didn't just grow a conscience because you broke up with your fucking boyfriend. That doesn't make sense. Anyway. I think it meant they were gonna go for a PG-13 rating and then changed it to R. And they were like, fuck it. But then, like, there was one sequence where she wastes all those cops, but instead, let's make it a beanbag gun instead of, like, straight up shooting them. Because I don't think that would play well. Because I don't know, it just, because the way she was shooting them, like, they would be knocked out, and none of them came to and snuck up behind her and knocked her ass out or shot her. They were all, like, as soon as they were hit with a beanbag, it's like they were dead. That's why I'm like, okay, that's suspicious. I think this was originally supposed to be like an R-rated blood fest in a police station, and then he just changed it. That's just a theory. Anyway, let's get back to, Morgue, $5 super chat. I did hear High Top Films did admit to being open to pegging on his Twitter. Oh God. Kanasa, I think that's what it says. £5 super chat. Black Mask got more respect when playing second fiddle to Red Hood and the Joker in the animated movie. At least he had some cool lines there. Phantom Gleam, $10 super chat. I was more intimidated by Cheshin, I think, Hound Owner in the Dark Knight 2000. Oh, right, in Dark Knight 2008 than Black Mask's army. And to my recollection, Cheshin never held a weapon. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Ugh.
Utilize that R rating and don't play it safe. The score by...
Yes, they do. There's barely any fucking blood in this movie. There's like one gory scene where she like, it's implied that she feeds this guy who tried to who sexually harassed her to her pet hyena, and they show a severed leg. But like other than that, like they say fuck every now and then there's that one scene, like I said, with Sionis like forcing this girl to dance on the table. But other than that, it's like it didn't feel like a fucking R-rated movie.
They utilize that R rating and don't.
It felt like a PG-13 movie trying to be an R-rated movie. Hail Mendoza, $5 super chat. People saw this as a feminist movie. God, have the standards gotten that low already? Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, the feminists see it as a feminist movie, and people who don't like it see it as a feminist movie anyway. Because, like, that's how it portrays itself. Certain themes and, like, how male characters and female characters are treated and portrayed. Like, yeah, it's a total feminist movie. However way you put it. Like, people who treat it as a feminist movie positively, like, yeah, I expect that because they're fucking weird. They're fucking crazy. Harley's a feminist icon. Of course you think that. Of course you think a woman who murders children. Of course you think a woman who murders children is a goddamn feminist icon. Of course you do.
Play it safe. The score by Spider-Verse composer Daniel Pemberton not only adds to the...
Wow, the Spider-Verse. The same guy who did the score for the Spider-Verse did the score for this? No, I've never seen the Spider-Verse, but I think I've heard like a track. I didn't get that at all. I didn't get that at all. That's what I'm saying. They pick talented people who, like, from other well-established shit and just throw them at a fucking comic book movie and think they're gonna, they'll do just as well as they did with their other shit. But like, no. None of their personal touch is in this film. And that's what I'm trying to say. This is the same as what they did with Zack Snyder and his fucking movies, and what they did with David Ayer and Suicide Squad. They just, let's get a well-known director and writer and have them just do our movie and tell them to do what we want them to do. Their personal touch isn't really going to be on it. It's going to be more of the studio's thing. But we'll make them think they have control. Like, it's the same thing here. This does not feel like, this is an artsy film. This is an artsy comic book film. This is different from all the rest. Like, no, it isn't. It's like saying Deadpool is different from other comic book films. That one isn't either. Shut up!
This action into the more quieter moments, but gives the film...
You know what's what's different? Like, Logan is different. Joker is different. Because they go for more showing realities and emotional, like how the emotional aspect of being a comic book, like the emotional repercussions of being a comic book hero. They treat them more like people I don't feel any fucking humanity from any of these characters in Birds of Prey. That's what humanity and groundedness. That's what separates other, like, regular films from comic book films.
Film such momentum, it never stops moving. That's also a testament to the editing, writing, and directing. This film,
it never stops moving. It's almost like it's made for people with a low attention span.
Moves, it flows, it bops, it explodes, but no
it doesn't flow. The fucking pacing is everywhere.
It feels too short and no emotional beat misses. God, I don't know what else to say, man. I think I really love this movie. Go see this movie. I want more of these. I said that with pretty much every DC film review of late, and I fucking mean it.
With every DC film review.
Listen, you don't want the same experience every time you go see a superhero movie, do ya? You don't want to eat pizza every day. Who wants to eat pizza every day? You want pizza time to be spent.
You shouldn't use pizza as an example, because a lot of people wouldn't mind eating pizza every day.
Special. You want new foods cooked by new chefs and not the same old reliable McDonald's hamburger. You want to support more artistry from these franchise machines. If Suicide Squad was a prime example of when everything goes wrong with superhero studio filmmaking, then Birds of Prey is the prime example of when everything goes right. Is it
They mimic some of the same fucking shit that they did in Suicide Squad. Like using text to fucking describe character when you should really just show it. They do the same fucking thing. They do these little these little breaks where they show you, like, it's like a scorecard for the character that you're going to be introduced to. Like, this is Black Mask. Oh, hold on. I actually have a picture. Hang on. Because I took a screenshot of that shit. This'll only take a minute minute. Where the fuck? Oh, here it is. Oh, this is so cheap, too. Look how cheap this shit is. Alright, hang on. Yeah, it's just gonna take a little minute, guys. I wish I had this rigged up. Okay, yeah, but look at this shit. It is so fucking cheap. This is how they introduced Black Mask, and it's the same way they introduced the characters. More importantly, Deadshot. This is how they introduced him, like with a fucking title card, like with a like this, and it's so cheap looking. Look at it. Look at this fake ass background. Oh, this is one step. This is like a slight step above Nostalgia Critic. Oh, I would have loved to see this. I would have loved to have seen this Black Mask throughout the whole movie, but you know, we didn't. Actually, no, I'll keep it there. Anyway, that's the same shit they did in Suicide Squad, and they fucking retconned it for this. It's so different from Suicide Squad.
Spider-Man 2? No. Is it The Dark Knight? No. Is it Daredevil? No. But it's not trying to be. It's trying to be the most insane, most ridiculous, and most
It's not the most insane. Ugh, excuse me. You think this is the most insane film you've ever seen? Like, what? Huh? What?
fantabulous Harley Quinn movie it can possibly be, and it succeeds in that.
But see, it's supposed to be a Birds of Prey movie, not a Harley Quinn movie. So that's already one failure.
Prey isn't flawless, perfect cinema, but I think it's creative cinema, and that's what we...
It's not creative! It really isn't! Like, there's some nice shit in it, like, Sionis's, some of his hideout or apartment looks pretty good. But other than that, I don't really care. It's like, oh, Harley Quinn, look at all this pink stuff she has in her house. And she wears, fucking sparklies for, like, sleeves. Okay.
We need need right now. $80 million movies.
I bet money. Oh, when the Suicide Squad comes out, the one that James Gunn directed, that's gonna be hot. Then that's probably gonna be some creative shit. And people and like the Birds of Prey fans are gonna be livid if people like that Harley Quinn or that movie more than they liked this. They're gonna have a fucking shit fit online. Watch.
That take a risk, that allow filmmakers full creative freedom, and perhaps most importantly, allow the people behind the camera to shine just as much as the characters we love already do. So yeah, stop listening to me and just go see.
Oh, I never was.
You know what's disgusting? Me, when I don't shave. Luckily,
yeah. I mean, when you do or if you, it doesn't matter. You do or don't shave, you're still kind of gross. Anyway, that was a review, only 7 minutes, and like, oh, I love how when reviewers don't say why something's good, they just say it's good. Like, this thing happened, and it's good, and that thing happened. I'm not gonna say why it's good, I'm just gonna say it's creative. Well, why is it creative? I don't know. Alright, okay, here's the next one. Now, this next Harley Quinn, this next Birds of Prey review is by Jessie Gender. Now, if you're new to this stream or my channel, whatever, Jessie Gender was the same chick who did that Wonder Woman 1984 review. That really bad Wonder Woman 1984 review. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. I filmed two gingers bearing each other with walrus peepees. I'm creative. Oh. Anthony Scioli, $5 super chat. Watched this movie after watching the movie Demons, and guess how insane this comic film really is. Yeah, this is insanity for like generic people. You only think it's good compared to other comic book films you have seen. You only think it's creative compared to other comic book movies you've seen, which is not a good. It's not a good unit of measurement. Sorry, but it's not. But yeah, this is the Jessie Gender review, and like I said, she reviewed that really bad Wonder Woman 1984. She did that Wonder Woman 1984 review that we talked about. Oh, and as you know, yeah, she's got some social justice warrior tendencies. Like, she's just full on like, huh. So you can already tell where this review is gonna go. Yeah, and this review is called "Harley Quinn: Birds of Prey is required viewing." Oh no! All right, let's do it. Let us not mince words.
You know what the definition of a Harlequin is? A Harlequin is someone who will kick your ass.
Oh my god!
Also, someone who does a half.
I didn't fucking know. I skimmed through this review, but I must have missed something. I must have had it playing and I was listening to it, because I don't remember this shit. What the fuck? No! It's like you have cum on your face. Like, many Stay Puft Marshmallow Men just can't, like, give you a fucking facial. The fuck? Oh, no. Oh, chat's going off. No! Ah! Yeah, that makeup is shit. Anyway.
Big makeup job for a video. Okay, so I know I mainly talk about Star Trek on this channel, so some of you may be surprised that I'm a huge Harley Quinn fan. Like,
yeah, I'm actually a fan of this rendition of Harley Quinn, not comic book Harley Quinn. When people say they're a fan of something and you just realize that they're a fan of something when a specific rendition of it came out, they're just a fan of that rendition.
she is quite literally one of my favorite characters of all time. Which is why I was so pumped to see Birds of Prey, or the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Or I guess Harley Quinn Birds of Prey is what they're calling it now, in an effort to try and boost the box office of this thing, because you apparently all didn't go out and see it. And
no, you're right, we didn't.
and I gotta say, it honestly really bums me out.
Because Suicide Squad ruined it. It ruined anyone's fucking chance to be excited for it.
Because this movie is such a wonderful film that we rarely get to see made today. Especially
Everyone keeps saying it. This is a film that's rarely ever made today. Because it had more than one woman on screen at once. Even though there are plenty of fucking films with more than one female on screen at once.
in superhero films. I mean,
And it's not a superhero movie! Fuck! It's not a superhero movie! It's like saying the Joker is a superhero movie. It's not! It's a comic book film. Because there are no fucking real heroes in this, in Bop. Not really.
film that we rarely get to see made today, especially in superhero films. I mean, for all the talk of Joker being this real movie that snuck itself into the studio system, when it really was just a pseudo remake of a Martin Scorsese.
Oh god, really? It's just a remake of a Martin Scorsese movie. Because he's a white guy, and it's during, like, the past, and he goes crazy and shoots things and people. That means it's the same movie. People who have, like, a really, one-dimensional understanding of film should not be doing film reviews. I'm just saying. I've seen Taxi Driver, and I've seen Joker. They're nothing alike, except, yeah, white guy starts shooting people because he's distressed. Like, it feels disenfranchised. That's about it. That's it. That's where it ends.
Martin Scorsese film that actually almost hilariously beat an actual Scorsese film at the Oscars. Birds of Prey.
And Martin Scorsese was also involved in the production of Joker. But, you know, let's just fly on past that little detail. REB, $5 super chat. That guy is a sleep paralysis demon. If that demon had a sleep paralysis demon. Phantom Glean, $5 super chat. We don't get to see movies like this today. Yeah, because last time they made a Tank Girl 1995 movie, it flopped then as well. Damn. Yeah, this is kind of Tank Girl-esque, isn't it? Phantom of the Night, $4.99 super chat. Suicide Squad ruined it. That and the fact that WH openly didn't market the film until a week before it came out. Yeah, that's another thing. Metal Mugen, Ma Taxi Driver and Ma King's a Comedy, though. Yeah, this not even this, nowhere near the same films. I don't know what the fuck she's on about. Ugh. Oh, Minette 32. She looks like Frosty's hooker.
Is actually something that feels fresh. Sure,
it feels fresh. Oh, wait a minute.
it's riffing on the Deadpool formula, but
it's not riffing on the fucking formula. It's the formula. Because DC has been trying to catch up with these motherfuckers since day one. They took the formula because they wanted their own Deadpool movie. They wanted their own R-rated standalone film that was fun at the same time. The only time when they even got anything remotely right was with Joker. That's it.
takes what works in those films and twists it and manipulates it enough to make it really feel like a Harley Quinn movie, something unique to
They took something already established and made it for Harley Quinn. That doesn't sound unique at all. That doesn't sound fucking unique. They took something from a male, well, actually, Deadpool's an anti-hero. He's not Harley Quinn's a straight up fucking villain, so. But like, they from an established male comic book character, and they fit it to where Harley Quinn could be in it. Like, that's not good. Why did you say it like that was fucking positive?
And because this is a great Harley Quinn movie that also happens to have the Birds of Prey in it, who are also really cool characters. So I just wanted to make this brief video to tell all of you why you need to see this movie. This movie is about Harley Quinn and what makes her such a powerful character.
Even though it's supposed to be about all of them. You know, Birds of Prey and all that.
Like I said before, Harley Quinn is one of my favorite characters of all time for numerous reasons. She's a character that on many levels feels incredibly relatable and real, especially...
Does she? Does she? Yeah, because we're all psychiatrists who fell in love with our patients and became basically submissive punching bags for a clown psychopath and started murdering people in triplicate. We can all relate to that.
When you look at what her character actually is and not the superficial cultural understanding of what her character is that mostly comes from the film Suicide Squad, which was a terrible representation of Harley Quinn, and don't even get me started on that.
It's a terrible representation of Harley Quinn. It's terrible. You gonna say why it's terrible, or are you just gonna say that it's terrible? Because it wasn't terrible, though. It really wasn't. And like I said, it was actually better than Bop, in my opinion. Because you actually see the push and pull between her wanting to be the Joker's girl, wanting to be normal, and wanting to be normal with him, and all that shit. And this one is like, oh, we broke up, and no one cares about me. We broke up. Like, the whole movie is based on her breaking up with him and being sad about that. And she finds her own way, but then she doesn't, because she ends up with the birds of prey and some fucking kid. So she doesn't really end up on her own by herself. And she still, steals a diamond and then uses the money from that to start some shit. She's like, it's not really on her own. But whatever. Like, the character's bad because I bet one of the reasons, like, she'll say the character's bad is because, well, she was with the Joker and she was taking his abuse, but like that's the fucking part of the fucking character. Who the fuck do you want? I know I'm probably making shit up to be angry about right now, but I don't care. I bet money. I'm usually right about these things.
A character that is defined by one characteristic, empathy. And it's something that is both her big terrible representation of Harley Quinn, and don't even get me started on that. She's a character that is defined by one characteristic, empathy. And
what? Okay. Harley Quinn is defined by her empathy, guys. I want to see how many of you in chat fucking agree with that. The chick who has murdered children. She's defined by her empathy, guys. Why? Because she hugged another fucking female villain once and was happy and shit. Yeah, that means she has empathy. No. Yep. Yeah, see, people know in the chat know it's bullshit. Kill switch engaged. Like, what the fuck? She's a murderer. No, she doesn't have empathy. That's not the same. No. No. Yeah, she fell for another psychopath. That doesn't mean she has empathy. That's not how that works.
And it's something that is both her biggest asset and her biggest flaw. She's a therapist able to understand and read people instantaneously, and it's an achievement that also showcases her incredible intelligence and competence.
Yeah, couldn't read the Joker, though.
It's also this deep empathy that causes her to fall in love with the Joker, a man who...
For one thing, prison hoes who fall for prison inmates, despite them being dangerous criminals, that ain't empathy. That ain't empathy. That's being attracted to, that's having a psychological, that's a psychological flaw, being attracted to dangerous men. That's not fucking empathy. That's not real fucking empathy. She gets turned on, her pussy tingles from dangerous men. It's basically like Bonnie and Clyde and shit like that. It's not fucking empathy. That is not what that is. It's like when women fall, like I said, when women fall in love with death row inmates. It's something dangerous and forbidden. Especially with the way it's portrayed in Suicide Squad. She has so much empathy. That's why she fell for him. Get the fuck out of here. So she had empathy, but she didn't have empathy for all the people he murdered, and she murdered along with him. But empathy is a part of her character. Okay, I'll believe that shit.
So clearly manipulates her for his own ends. Yet even within a few episodes of her first appearance on Batman the Animated Series, Harley Quinn already showcased her strength of character and independence, pushing back against the Joker's abuse, never allowing herself to be fully defined by it, yet still really.
It's a better interpretation of Harley Quinn, to be honest. The eccentric artist, $5 super chat. The animated series Harley is the only complex, sympathetic version of Harley. All the other iterations are disgusting, murderous psychopaths. Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Albatross Flight, $2 super chat. It's called hybristophilia, I think. All right, so now we know what the hell that means when bitches get tingles over dangerous men.
Realistically affected by it. And numerous times she tries to escape her cage of the Joker, sometimes succeeding and gaining independence, and other times failing based on which episode or which continuity you're following in the comics, movies, or TV shows. And that's something that's really, really relatable to a lot of people who have been in abusive relationships.
See, she's relatable because, like, there are people who have been in abusive relationships. That's a stretch. I'm sorry.
She's a character that both within the DC universe and as a fictional character that has been defined by her relationship to Joker. And her best arcs have always been about her reconciling with how to define herself separate from him. All of these aspects of Harley are what Birds of Prey gets right to a T. The whole story is about her trying to figure out who she is outside of her relationship with the Joker. And I hated Suicide Squad, as I mentioned before, especially for how it framed Harley and Joker's relationship as a good thing. That this abusive relationship was...
It wasn't framed as a good thing. That's the one thing I couldn't stand about people who criticize this film. It was framed as a good thing. Yeah, him leaving her behind to drown, such a good thing. When he zapped her brain, it was all made to look like a good thing. No! It's showing the fucking relationship through her perspective. To her, that relationship was a good thing. For her. Because we're showing it through her her perspective, because she's a part of the Suicide Squad. We're not going to see it through the Joker's perspective. We're not going to see it like it's not the outside looking in type of thing where we see it for what it is, even though we do see it for what it is. Because the writing wasn't good enough. No, it was not good enough for the outside looking in writing. But yeah, it wasn't made to look good. It was made to look good from her perspective because that's how she saw it. Ray, $3 super chat. He don't know how humans work. What Spaghetti said. It wasn't framed as a good thing. People think it's glorifying abusive relationships. It fucking wasn't. You don't know that zapping your girlfriend's brain to make her crazy as you was a bad thing? Because they weren't making it look good. They weren't making it look fucking romantic. Where the fuck are you getting that from? Spaghetti is like, it's like they don't understand how skewed Harley's mentality is. Yeah, they were showing the relationship through her perspective. And they still showed her wanting the Joker to be a normal person so they could live a normal life. Why would they do that if their relationship was framed to look romantic? Nathan Pattinson, $1.99 super chat. Jay, loved your vid on the L word. Literally the worst. Thank you. Like, it wasn't framed to... Now, Raylo, on the other hand, because someone mentioned it in chat. Now, Raylo, on the other hand, that was it was inherently a fucked up relationship because Kylo was basically trying to either force her to the dark side or kill her. And, like, they would always try to make it look like, oh, they're falling for each other, even though, like, he's trying to kill her. Why would you do it? Why would you make it look like a will they or won't they relationship when he's trying to fucking kill this bitch? Now that was framed to look like that was a romantic relationship. Like, you know, when it was trying to be romantic, that is. Like, oh, she's changing him, but like, no, he's a dangerous psychopath. Stop it. Stop it. Now that's a different fucking story. But yeah, we're seeing the Harley. Seeing this relationship with Harley and Joker through Harley's perspective, and that's why certain things are spun to look kind of romantic, because we're seeing it through her eyes. We're seeing how this works for her, because the bitch is it's her. She is one of the Suicide Squad. So that means when she's one of the main characters, so we're gonna be following her perspective in this relationship. We're not gonna follow Joker's fucking perspective. But anyway. Calistiana 17. It was framed romantic with the sappy rising music when they reunited. Like I said, it was framed through Harley's perspective. That doesn't mean they're making their relationship look romantic. When everyone knows naturally that their relationship is screwed up. You don't need to be told that. There's not one moment where I thought, oh, they really do love each other. Like, no. There's always a level of like, oh shit, like these two screwed up assholes. There was always that element, like just because they use like rising music in this scene. Well, like yeah, because in her mind, like her boyfriend's coming to pick her up and save her from prison. Like yeah. There we go. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying before we were brutally interrupted, because I think we're back. Like, just because, well, it was toned down for the film. It wasn't toned down that much, but, like, the reason why it was so amped up in a cartoon is because we were with them most of the time. Like, we didn't have really other characters butting in. But you didn't know from him zapping her brain that he might have been a piece of shit to her. Like, come on. And like I said, it was toned down because people are more conscientious about what kids see today. And they knew, like, this is a comic book film, PG-13, kids are going to see it, we got to tone it down. Kai Fujimoto, we back from Oven Land. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's why it was toned down. Not because they want to make it look normal. Come on. Like, does anyone really fucking buy that? Like, oh, yeah, kids, zapped your girlfriend's brain. Nathan Pattinson, 199 Super Chat, your cringe nights are bae. Love your old videos too, Jay. Thank you. And plus, what like really pisses me off is that they were made to look lovey-dovey in the fucking cartoon at times. They were still made to look lovey-dovey in that, so I don't know why people are complaining. It's the same, basically the same shit. The only reason why it's more lovey-dovey here, but like I said, they're showing it through Harley's perspective. Calistiana 17, not normal, but romantic and toxic to appeal to 13. If you think that they were trying to appeal to 13-year-old girls by showing scenes of him leaving her to die and then zapping her brain, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why you think 13-year-old girls would find that hot. That's not what like 13-year-old girls found hot about the relationship. It was just because there were hot people involved. And well, of course, Jared Leto. They were just in love with him, and he was like a more safe version, more sexually attractive version of the Joker. You think young girls are gonna get off to Jack Nicholson? Or fucking what's his name? Or Joaquin Phoenix's rendition? No. Yeah, and like I said, it's just the bad boy thing. That it's always going to be a thing no matter what. It doesn't matter how you frame this character. Oh, Cynic, I think that's what it says. Batman the Animated Series shows them being in love and Joker throwing her out of a window and Harley blaming herself. Yeah, they show the exact same shit. Like they show that they're in love sometimes with each other. But we still know it's a toxic relationship because, yeah, naturally it is. Because then we see the other dynamic in their relationship. Hi, Fujimoto. It's concerning when someone who knows the characters hears from another that Harley and the Joker relationship are goals. Yeah, that's because it's because, like, a lot of the time, kids just erase that darkness, like most of the darkness from a relationship, and ignore all the bad shit they did because, like I said, the bad boy thing is just attractive to to young girls that age. I wish it wasn't, but it is. It's the same thing with Loki. I remember, like, girls were saying that he was hot. And people would come around and say, yeah, you know he's a genocidal maniac, though. But they didn't care because he was hot. It's got nothing to do with how the dynamic is set up in the film. It's just that Jared Leto and Margot Robbie are hot. And plus, kids like to experiment with, like, that dark shit every now and then. I don't think they were purposely trying to make them look like goals. I think that's just what kids interpret this shit as. It's like with Twilight and all that. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Twilight, no. They genuinely made that shit look romantic. So fuck that as an example. But there are things that, like, kids take, like I said with Loki. He's not meant to look romantic or like some sexy bad boy, but people thought he was anyway. Because that's just... It's just the way it is. But to say that the movie was deliberately trying to say, yeah, this is goals, guys. Zap your girlfriend's brain. Leave her to die. Like, try to kill her. Like, slap the shit out of her. Yes, fine. It's all good. Like, what? That's delusional. No. It's just that fucking young girls are attracted to niggas with slick back hair. Like, attractive dudes with slick back hair and a bad attitude. That's it. That's what it is. Unfortunately, that's what it is.
Should all want to achieve. It was honestly super gross and was clearly written by a dude who had never understood abusive relationships, at least from the perspective of a woman, and who had only...
Okay, but, like, this abusive relationship from the perspective of a woman? You do realize that some chicks in abusive relationships actually think they're in love with these motherfuckers, right? That is one perspective. To think you think it's only one way. That the chick, oh, she gets hit once and she hates him, but she stays with him anyway. Some chicks think they're genuinely fucking in love with these motherfuckers. And have to break that way of thinking, which is the same thing here. Dante Inferno, $5 super chat. The Warp Zone has a wonderful take on Joker's reaction to Suicide Squad. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. You get to be with Henry Cavill forever, but every time you go and make super babies, you turn into Brie Larson personality and all. Would you do it? Oh, no. Hi, Fujimoto. It's one thing to say the character is hot, but it's another to say you want to date the character and ignore the bad stuff they've done. But that's not, but the onus is not, like, but that's not the movie's problem. That's the kid's problem. And whatever fucking upbringing they came from. That's not the movie's problem. Kaiji Fujimoto says, like, it's a bit like Stockholm Syndrome. But like I said, that's not the movie's problem. That's not the movie's problem. It's made clearly to look fucking abusive. But like to her, but in her eyes, like, oh, he's so fucking romantic and shit. That's what scares people about this. And that's why they wanted to tone it down anyway. Was because they didn't want him to be blatantly, because there were like deleted scenes of him blatantly slapping the shit out of her, and they took that out of the movie. Not to make it look more romantic, but because, yeah, you can't really, it's kind of too traumatic for kids to fucking see, and plus you want to keep a PG-13 rating. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. Maybe he should watch Batman the animated series to see how Harley was done correctly. Like, he said he did. Well, she said she did. Jessie Gender. Oh, Comic Face is like, Lauren, you need to peep the Queen Latifah equalizer. I don't know, man. Oh, Kyle R. If anything, Suicide Squad is more realistic because it shows how someone can get sucked into that kind of relationship by showing things from Harley's point of view. Well, I would say realistic. I would say that it's... like, it's got some accuracy to it. Like, if you think, like, when a woman's in an abusive relationship, she's just miserable all the fucking time, and that's the only view of it. Like, no. Some of them are actually brainwashed, and yeah, and it's just, like I said, like what Carl R. says, like, when people get sucked into that shit and think what they're experiencing is complete love and shit. People just don't like looking. See, that's the thing. People just don't like looking at that aspect of it. That's what it is. People don't like, oh, there's some shit where, like, she's abused and she kind of doesn't care. I don't want to see that. I want to see, like, the Lifetime movie version where she's just victimized and sad all the time. That's what it is. People are used to seeing that. They don't want to see the type of shit where she's abused, but she's kind of, like, she's sucked into the life. She's crazy. She's just as crazy as him, so she kind of, like, just deals with it. Isabel, $5 super chat. Love your content. Have you seen the new Equalizer show? Oh, God. Oh, no. I've seen Az's, Heels versus Babyface's review of it. I haven't seen the actual show. I kind of don't want to. Phantom of the Night, $4.99 super chat. I saw a teaser for that Equalizer thing on TV just an hour ago. What's up with that? I don't know. Bobbert Jones, I actually feel sorry for David Ayer. The WB completely screwed him over and butchered his film. Yeah, like, same thing for him and Zack Snyder. Red Rose Sparks, some women get so used to it, they think that's just normal love, especially when it's their first relationship. That's what I'm saying. It's like she's so sucked into it, into the glamour of the whole thing. She's fucked in the head herself. That's one thing people need to understand about Harley Quinn. She was also a little fucked in the head herself. Like, how do you think she got into that relationship? Paul Gerard, Maximilian, $5 super chat. I think the problem is too many people try to get their morals from stories. Keep up the great work. So glad I found you forever ago. Yeah, that's about it. People see these kids, like, these young girls going crazy over this shit, taking goals and shit. Like, these are the same girls who probably fantasize about fucking serial killers. Like, it's got nothing to do with the characters and how they're portrayed. It's just, like, these fucking girls are probably a little whacked out themselves. Probably have shitty home lives. I don't know. But there's always that fucking phase where, oh, shit. Where a young girl gets hooked on some bad boy fictional character. And like, yeah. And like, eventually they'll fucking get over it. Because yeah, it's fiction, and they'll get, like I said, kids usually get over that shit. Now it only becomes a problem when they don't. Like, there's still people obsessed with Harley and Joker's relationship in Suicide Squad. Like, oh, such goals, and yeah, there's a problem. But like, girls usually look at this, they usually want to get with the bad boy. They have that little phase when it comes to fictional media, and then they get over it. It's literally nothing. But anyway, let's get back to it.
Only had 6 weeks to write the script anyways. This isn't an attack against David Ayer necessarily.
I hate it when people say that shit. Oh, you're glorifying abusive relationships. No, I'm not attacking you. She did the same shit for Wonder Woman 1984. Okay, look. There's some harmful, disgusting misogyny in the script. No, I'm not attacking you. Fucking shut up. Like, shut up. Mikey Gusler, $5 super chat. Did you get my latest Twitter DM about that girl saying the Snyder Cut celebrates violence against women? Oh, I think I peeked at it. I don't remember what it said, but yeah. Or maybe I do. Hang on. I think... No, yeah, you know what? It was the new clip of Darkseid, or whatever the fuck his name is. Not Darkseid, What's his name? No, it was Darkseid. Yeah, I'm thinking of Doomsday. So there's too many fucking DC villains with a D in their name. I don't know. But yeah, Darkseid. It was when Darkseid was beating up Amazonian women, and one of them he chopped in fucking half, and then this bitch was like, "Oh, Zack Snyder's just a sick son of a bitch. He gets off on violence against women." Oh wait, it was Steppenwolf. Never mind. I'm sorry. God damn it. I'm so sorry. Kendra T, $2 super chat. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come for you? Oh god. Oh, Mike Testa, any fart chats yet? Surprisingly, no. But anyway, yeah, Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf chopped in half one of the Amazonian women, and some bitch was like, "Oh, see, Zack Snyder getting off on violence against women." Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, that's not how that works. No, he's just showing the realism of, like, warriors going up against this very large, more powerful warrior. Some of them gonna fucking die. Like, yeah. They're warriors. Like, why are you getting hinty over it? Like, what the yeah. Anyway.
Because I do like some of his other films, but just that he did not have enough time to put in the proper research and wait to give it to Harley Quinn in that film. And it honestly shows, especially with how the camera frames
Wait, they only had 6 weeks to do a script? No, oh yeah, no wonder it sucks.
her in many scenes as this sex object, something to be goggled at.
Harley Quinn is sexy. Like, fucking stop it. Even in the even in Batman the Animated Series, she had a sex appeal. Like that. You think that fucking skin-tight Harley Quinn outfit was for function only? No, she was also hot as well. She made sexual innuendos and all kinds of shit. And the way she's portrayed in the comics is very sexy. Like, fucking stop pretending. This is what pisses me off about people who review this film. Oh, look at Harley made to look sexy. But I don't know. Have we had the same childhood? Did we watch the same Batman animated series? I'm sorry, was she some fucking hag in that show? No. Far from it, actually. Super Nazi goes, "Oh, Jesse, you're just jealous. People aren't looking at you sexually."
Even though Margot Robbie in that movie was actually very good. But the Birds of Prey film actually takes that depiction of Harley and uses it to its advantage, showcasing us a Harley that has been so encapsulated by the Joker that to suddenly find herself without him completely robs her of a sense of self. This film, which was directed by a woman, written by a woman, and produced by Margot Robbie herself, is a wonderful analysis of abusive relationships, but also...
It isn't. It's not really an analysis of abusive relationships. Suicide Squad, like, I keep complimenting this film, but I kind of have to because people keep simping for this crappier movie. But Suicide Squad was a better analysis of, like, abusive relationships. That was a better, in my opinion. Just gonna say it. I don't give a fuck. Hot take. Don't give a fuck what you got to say. I think it was. It was a better. Just because a couple of young girls misinterpreted it does not mean anything. Dante Inferno, $10 super chat. What we need is a new Harley Quinn, one that starts out as the Doctor to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and then becomes Harley Quinn. This could legitimately be good for WB, but it'll probably won't happen. Yeah, probably not. Major Chris, it's directed by a woman. It's good. Oh god.
Also can become the perfect breakup film for anyone leaving a significant other, even if that relationship was healthy overall. Yet, while Harley as a character searches for her own identity...
This could be a great breakup film. How? Like, how? It's a 15-minute review and you still haven't explained anything?
Almost every part of Harley Quinn that I love gets a moment to shine in this film. She breaks the fourth wall, there are numerous moments where she intelligently psychoanalyzes another character, using her ability to deftly read other characters to her benefit. She's shown to be intelligent.
They actually do that in Suicide Squad, but that scene was cut out. I think it was put in the extended edition, though, where she actually reads... There's a scene where they're walking down the street and she reads every single character. And it's like, yeah, you're this and you're that and you're this, and like, she admits it, like, yeah, I want to use all, like, their fucking issues against them, basically. And then there was one scene where she Red Deadshot is like a textbook sociopath and shit. So that shit was in Suicide Squad. Like I said, David Ayer, yeah, I think his movie got chopped to shit just as much as Zack Snyder's movies did. Or whatever.
And independent at numerous points, yet crazy and madcap to the nth degree. I mean, there's a whole sequence in the film set up around the fact that Harley Quinn really wants to eat an egg sandwich. And by the way, that egg sandwich is actually shot in the same exact way that Harley Quinn was shot in the previous movie Suicide Squad.
What? What? Oh, because an egg sandwich is a human woman. It was shot the exact same way. This egg sandwich was filmed the exact same way this woman was. What? Huh? I didn't get that at all. Where are you getting that shit from? Are you sexualizing food? Jesse Gender, is that what we're doing?
The exact way that Harley Quinn was shot in the previous movie Suicide Squad, showcasing how in that film Harley Quinn was just treated as a piece of meat, a piece.
Get the fuck out of here! What? What is this reaching that you're doing right now?
Food. And it's a great commentary on how the character Harley Quinn was treated by Suicide Squad and in comics.
She was not treated like a fucking sexy woman. Does not mean treated like she does almost the same fucking shit. She does almost the same shit she does in Bob. She does in Suicide Squad. Fucking stop it! See, but this one was directed by a woman. So now see, that's what this is. The other one was written and directed by a man. So they didn't feel safe to praise that film, to praise Harley Quinn's portrayal in that film. So now you got a movie that's directed and written by women. So now you feel safe enough to say, yeah, I really like this portrayal. Mikey Gussler, $2 super chat. Not trolling. Release the Ayer cut. Single player Carl. I treat my women like I treat my meat. I beat him. And is it really an egg sandwich when there's bacon in it? I think it'd be a bacon and egg sandwich, but whatever. Vash Stampede, that shot was scaling with quick cuts. The egg sandwich had multiple quick shots and fades. That is completely wrong statement. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Like, what? But yeah, I think it's like, it's safe for them to like this movie and to like how Harley was portrayed because of who was directing and writing it. I don't think it has anything fucking thing to do with what she actually does in these films. Plus, she is like, even though it's supposed to be in an ensemble film like Suicide Squad, it's mostly just about her. All the characters are basically secondary. You don't really give a shit about what they're doing. She's put this is a vehicle for her. And Suicide Squad was what it was supposed to be, a fucking ensemble film. That felt way more like an ensemble film than Bob did. Like I said, say what you want about how shitty the movie is, fine. But there are a lot of things they did better than Bob. So, you know, I'm just saying.
Comics and in culture in general, and how women in film are treated in culture in general by the male gaze, which is an actual film term that I've talked about in other videos.
Oh god,
so
male gaze.
Treated by Suicide Squad, and in comics and in culture in general, and how women in film are treated in culture in general by the male gaze, which is
because men have never been sexualized in a film. Not ever. Not ever. I hate this male gaze bullshit. Single player Carl, bacon, egg, cheese, I think. Better than egg and cheese. The bacon adds the bite. Okay. The male gaze. Do male gaze. You mean like men who just have a normal sex drive like anyone else? That male gaze? Oh, Callistiana, 17, Wonder Woman 1. Sexualized the fuck out of Chris Pine. Actually, it was more the second one because, well, she basically raped a guy just to fuck her boyfriend. That was some hella sexualization. Strawman, $2 super chat. I see an egg sandwich first. Thought harder, daddy.
This is an actual film term that I've talked about in other videos, so if you're curious about that, go check them out in my other videos. Speaking of Harley Quinn, though, the tone of this movie is absolutely pitch perfect. Like Deadpool, it's definitely gory and gruesome mixed with insane.
It's not gory and gruesome. There's, like I said, there's like one gory scene where you see a severed leg. There's some crunches. Like there's some bones breaking, but it's not. Like with Deadpool, like yes, a lot of that was gory, and I felt like this movie was intended to be an R-rated a comic book film. With this, it feels like I said before, it felt like a PG-13 comic book film trying to be an R-rated comic book film. See, with Logan and Joker, even though you can't really compare these to this, but hey, I'm gonna do it anyway. Those felt like gross, like real life gross when you saw Logan like wipe the pus off his fucking blades because he's getting so old and decrepit that he's just like rotting and like he's becoming a moldy sandwich. Get some CGI, like I said, you get some CGI blood, you get some crunching. Whatever. It's not gruesome to me. Like I said, there was one severed leg part, and that was it. You don't even get to see it. You don't even get to see someone shot in the head. That's what I'm saying. Like this, it doesn't feel like an R-rated film.
Insane, madcap, fourth wall breaking comedy. Yet this film somehow also manages to make it much darker and grounded, mixing that
grounded. What? It's the same thing the other motherfucker said. No, it's a crazy fucking acid trip of a film, but it's grounded. It can't be both at the same fucking time. What are you talking about? It's not grounded and crazy. Which is it? It's grounded. It's grounded and darker. It's grounded.
Zany comedy with truly sadistic and uncomfortably realistic scenes. And nothing more encapsulated.
The only uncomfortably realistic scene was the one where Ewan McGregor made the girl dance on the fucking table. But like that was out of nowhere. That was just for shock value. And I will die on that fucking hill to the day I die. It was fucking shock value and nothing more.
That ethos than Ian McGregor's portrayal as the villain Black Mask, which is easily one of the best, if not the best, comic book villain performance of the past decade.
No! It's one of the best comic book villain portrayals of the last decade. One of the best! If not the best. Clearly this is a person who I didn't care for Joker. I didn't care for it. Did not care for it. Yeah, fuck Joaquin Phoenix. Just fuck him. Just fuck all over his work. All over the great work he did. Fuck him. Let's go for like Ewan McGregor slawing it up all over the fucking place. Look, I like Ewan McGregor as an actor, and I enjoyed him in this film. But saying that this was the best performance, like this was the best comic book villain performance of the last decade, are you? Oh yeah, not to mention Heath Ledger also as the Joker. You got that, his Joker. You got Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and you got you've got Josh Brolin as Thanos. Like, are you telling me those aren't as good as his goofy ass? Get the fuck out of here.
Right. McGregor is clearly chewing up the entire scenery and would almost have completely stolen the movie with his performance if not for Margot Robbie's amazing Harley Quinn. He's charismatic and funny, yet deeply disturbing.
He's not charismatic, like at all. He's like a pissant. He is a pissant mop the whole goddamn movie. He's never charming. What the fuck are you talking about? He's a little film.
What I love about him most is that he's not a top dog villain. He's not like Joker or Bane or like a top tier villain. But
even though he is in the comics, at least from my understanding, he's basically like, you know, a Two-Face or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
actually a villain who feels deeply emasculated, having never lived up to the legacy of his father and is trying to prove himself.
Yeah, you just explained why he's a little bitch.
But to do so, he tries to exert control over the smallest things that he has control over, such as his club and especially the women in his life. From Harley Quinn to his driver Black Canary to even, in one of the film's most uncomfortable but entirely truthful scenes, a female bar patron. And I will say that on a
I love how him making a bitch dance on the table is more disturbing than him chopping off a woman's fucking face. Like, like some chick gets a snot bubble on him, or like he sees it, he gets grossed out, and he's like, chop off her face. And that scene is less disturbing as him making a bitch dance on a goddamn table, which is odd to me. Gloofy? I think that's what that says, $2 super chat, and Jared Leto's Joker, yeah. I think that has to be a joke. I'm gonna take that as a joke. Oh my god. Oh, let me rewind that. What the fuck did she say again?
To his driver Black Canary, to even, in one of the film's most uncomfortable but entirely true.
All right. That's what I was saying. I was saying, like, he was basically cutting off some people's faces. And was like, you know what? The one where he makes a chick dance on a table was more disturbing. I'm sorry. But, look, actually, you know what? That's actually correct. Because it was made, like, the face cutting thing was put on for laughs. But and that also contributes to how bipolar his character is, well, the character writing and how all over the place it is. Because, like I said, the table dancing scene was out of nowhere. It was played up for shock value. Like I said, my opinion, but I think that's definitely what it was because it was just out of nowhere. Like he was like, "Is she laughing at me?" It was out of nowhere because it came off funny at first. Like, okay, is this gonna be funny? It's like, oh, is she laughing at me? And right before that, he very humorously says, "Fuck!" It looks like it's about to be played up for laughs, but then out of nowhere, it just gets really menacing for no reason. Glib facsimile, I think. $2 super chat. Sionis sounds like the ideal male feminist. Oh, he wasn't a male feminist. I mean, I understand why you think that, but yeah, he wasn't.
Scenes, a female bar patron. And I will say that on a surface level, without analyzing the clearly unintentional but still there queer coding being used to highlight a man's emasculation and femininity as a negative thing, I did absolutely love Zaz and Black Mask's clearly intentional homosexual relationship in this film. This is a film...
You did, but even though it's kind of implied, because the writing is so bad, the character writing is so bad, it makes it look, like I said before in the first video, it's kind of homophobic, because it... Like I said, especially with Zaz, it makes it look like he's so homophobic that he hates, like, he's so gay that he hates women. Like, I gotta protect my man against all these hooers. These hooers. That's basically what he says in the fucking movie. Like, I gotta take care of him, protect him from all these hooers. He doesn't say whores, he says little birds, because that's how he describes women, but like I'm saying hooers because it's fucking hilarious. I gotta protect my man from these hooers. These hooers. Cause that's kind of homophobic. I'm not gonna lie. Like because the characters, like I said, the characters are so thin. That's what you get from it. When you make them one-dimensional misogynists, that's how people are gonna see it. The purest form of cancer. $5 super chat. Hey, just tuned in. Who the hell is this, bruh? He looks like got a cream pie finish in the discount Brazzers shoot, or Brazers. Just calling it how I see it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh my god, sentient dildo. I think that's learn to queer code. Vash Stampede's like, Bill Burr would be proud. Yeah, that's kind of where I got it from. Like, it's a combination of how it's said on The Sopranos and Bill Burr's interpretation of the hooers. But yeah, like, if I was watching Birds of Prey and I knew those characters were gay and I saw how misogynistic they were being, I'd be like, wow, this is homophobic as fuck. Because that's how it looks, because the character writing is shit. It's one-dimensional.
Film about toxic masculinity, and about how men who feel inadequate and inept...
It did not say anything about toxic masculinity, even if I believed in that shit. It had nothing to say about it. He's not. We don't see how. It's more about his hatred of his family, not his father. Because we don't see his relationship between him and his father. We don't get any stories about how his father beat him because he saw him wearing a tutu or some shit. It's just he hates his family because they cut him off. That doesn't say anything about toxic masculinity.
Lash out at anything feminine in an attempt to assert.
If he lashes out at anything feminine, why is him and Zaz clearly gay for each other then? Why does he beat his ass every time it looks like Zaz is coming, like, you know, is like pushing up on him? Because there are times where, like, Zaz, it looks like they're about to kiss at one point, a little bit. Why didn't he beat the shit out of him? They attack anything feminine. You know, these gay men. They attack anything that's feminine. You see how that doesn't make any sense? You see how it doesn't make fucking sense?
Their masculinity to prove it.
Even Ewan McGregor and the guy who played Zaz, I keep forgetting his name, but even they said, no, their characters aren't gay. What the fuck are you talking about?
To themselves. Yet, at least for me, in my eyes, it does so with such rich characterization and deftness that it never feels like it's being performative or preachy. Yet, it's never unsubtle either.
It is pretty, it's preachy in other ways. It's not preachy with any toxic masculinity shit, because there is no toxic masculinity topic to tackle. Excuse me.
It's an incredibly fine line to walk, especially in today's era where everything feels so over the top and politicized. But this film does it incredibly. And that goes...
No, it doesn't. It's so fucking obvious that there's a political message here. There's a feminist message. Every guy is a piece of shit. And all the women, even when they do something wrong, they're still awesome and amazing. And you should still sympathize with them. But when a guy does something wrong, he is flat out piece of shit, no sympathy. He's a complete dumbass. Like, no sympathy, no consideration, no nuance. And when you do that, it looks like fucking propaganda. And I'm sorry, with Black Mask, there was still no nuance. I don't give a fuck how many bitches he makes dance on tables.
Goes for the entirety of the film's feminist themes. The film...
Oh, then, you know, admitted there are feminist themes.
Showcases numerous women dealing with very real problems, such as a man taking credit for their work, or men taking advantage of drunk women, or abusive relationships.
Which, yeah, I'm sorry, but two dudes pushing up on Harley Quinn and almost date raping her doesn't make any sense to me. I don't buy that happening whatsoever. If anything, this movie makes her look weaker than she does in Suicide Squad. That makes her look weaker than she is in Suicide Squad somehow. She lets two bald, ugly motherfuckers get her drunk and almost violate her. Get the fuck out of here. No. Cause right before that, she fucking cripples a dude who calls her a fucking slut. But she lets these, like, obviously skeevy motherfuckers get her even drunker so they can take advantage of her. That doesn't play. That doesn't work. With her being as crazy and as volatile, she didn't see that coming a mile away? Come on. Like, come on. Like, yeah, she gave it up to the Joker with him being obviously dangerous, but that's the Joker? That was kind of his intention to bag her. Like, keep in mind, he is a criminal genius. He's not just some nigga off the street. So, like, you can't use that as a fucking example. These are just two bald niggas who wanted to stick their dick in something. And they got her drunk and then tried to, like, throw her in a van and rape her? Like, in what world would that happen to fucking Harley Quinn as Harley Quinn?
Or a boss requiring validation through a woman's endless loyalty. One of my personal favorite moments showcasing this is a moment where Black Mask slaps Harley Quinn, and then she goes into a fantasy world with a full-on musical number discussing how Harley Quinn still has feelings for the Joker even though he abused her, and actually the fact that Black Mask was hitting her brought back for her positive memories of her relationship with the Joker, showing how deep and twisted abusive relationships can go.
Which is like, okay, so that carries on over from Suicide Squad, which is what I said before. She doesn't see his abuse as a negative because she's so in love with him and brainwashed by him. So checkmate. Checkmate, chat.
Honestly, a really deep.
I mean, but then again, I didn't get that from that scene, that diamonds are a girl's best friend scene. I didn't get that. I thought it was just like a random scene, like let's just put Margot Robbie in some cute clothes and shit. I didn't get the tie-in. I didn't even remember it being about the Joker either. Like, what the fuck? I really don't remember that. I don't know where you got that from.
Discussion showing how abusive relationships can feel comfortable and safe even in their toxicity to women who have been in them for so long that they don't know how to define themselves outside of it.
So, but you didn't get that from Suicide Squad for some odd reason. You didn't get that message from that. Even though it's clearly how they were mapping it out. Alright, whatever.
Yet again.
Like I said, it's safe for you to say that now because a woman wrote and directed the film. This film. But because it was David Ayer and he makes boy movies, he makes man movies, you can't say that those themes were done or even done well. Because a stupid man made it. Penis.
And this film never stops to look at the camera and go, hey, men suck, right?
Yeah, because they're too busy putting it right in your face. They don't need to. They just make all the male characters pieces of shit and make all the female characters repent for their bullshit. They make the female characters more sympathetic when they do something wrong. Harley Quinn literally says to Cassandra Cain, like, okay, I shouldn't have sold you. That was a dick move. And the whole time she's like, we're meant to feel sad for her because Cassandra Cain won't fucking forgive her right away. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, she doesn't forgive you. You tried to sell her. You crazy bitch. Like, oh, she's so sad because this little girl she just met doesn't love her unconditionally. It's almost like she's trying to compensate for the love she's not getting any more from the Joker. We're not gonna talk about that though. We're not gonna talk about how she needs to be on her own completely, away from any, because kids can give you unconditional love. That's a lot of the reason why some teenage girls have children. Like, you watch the Maury show, and their first fucking excuse for wanting to have a kid is like, they're gonna love me unconditionally because I don't get that love at home. Because my mother's a bitch to me. Yeah, so giving her a kid is actually the kind of the dumbest thing they could have done in that movie, because it's just like, isn't this just like a replacement for the Joker? Like getting a pet, like getting a puppy after a breakup. Like, I just need some, like, well, not a puppy, because a puppy is just like, just an animal. But it's like, you're making someone's dependent on her, and who is like, cause like Cassandra Cain, just like, she's snippy to her at first, but like, then she starts worshiping the ground she walks on for no reason. Like, how can I be like you? It's like, you just met her. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway.
It never feels like faux feminist films like Marvel, where the women superheroes often feel like action figures at times used to sell a narrative that, hey, look, we included women too, and they beat up a guy, so look how feminist we are.
Like, Birds of Prey didn't do that? Come on! Like, okay, look, that scene from Marvel was way more blatant, but that's because it was one scene in a fucking field of thousands, and somehow this group of women just happened to be in the same fucking spot together. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. That's why it's so obvious. That's why it's so obviously pandery. Because, yeah, like I said, in a field of thousands, somehow all of these women were able to find each other on the battlefield. It didn't make any sense because, yeah, it was made to pander. So you can't really compare the two, since this is a whole film and that is one scene in a movie, in one movie. And like I said, like, the feminist message is totally in your fucking face. I mean, you kind of just laid it out for us. You said that, oh, Cynosis, whatever, Black Mask, that he was basically a misogynist and piece of shit, and they mistreat women, and that there was the whole narrative, like, the feminist themes with Harley Quinn and all that shit. You basically just, it's very subtle, but like it's obvious though. You pointed it out. Finbar Hooley, $5 super chat. You are an amazing reviewer. Found you through EFAP. Love your reviews. Whenever you're on EFAP, it's going to be a great stream. Love your Batwoman reviews. Thank you. Minette32. Make sure to subscribe to Jay. Oh, thank you. Mr. Self-Destruction. It says it's feminist and it's unlike these other movies. Yeah, okay, you're not just trying to justify your reasons for liking it.
This is a film that just gives us real women dealing with real problems, all about in a heightened comic booky way. And it also
people taking credit for women's ideas. Like, show me when that's actually fucking, like, when that's been rampant, when that's actually happened, like, all the fucking time. Like, everyone could relate to that. That's just some fucking, a women's ideas being stolen. Like, before we kept records. I can believe that happened in a time before we kept records of things. But now it's like, yeah, you can't really get away with that. Show me like any instance of that now where that's happened. And how that's a common thing. And how that's so relatable. You can't. Anyway, and then what's the other one? Harley Quinn, her breakup shit, even though that's not that realistic. I mean, come on. It's all tied into the Joker Harley Quinn dynamic thing, so it's not that realistic. Like, if you want to be surface level and say, well, people can relate to it because people have been abused in relationships in the past, but Cassandra Cain being a pickpocket, yep, everyone can relate to that. We've all been pickpockets. And it's great for those people to get representation on screen. Huntress wanting revenge for the death of her family. Like, mob daughter. How is that relatable? And then there's Black Canary, who has superpowers. And she's real broken up about her mom being dead. And I think the cops are somehow responsible. She's not relatable either, because she doesn't really have relatable problems. Not really. I mean, it just...
also showcases how these women are also flawed. Harley Quinn may have been abused, yet she is...
For one thing, Harley Quinn is not flawed. She's a villain. Stop saying she's flawed. Like, yeah, she's flawed. But you're saying it like, oh, we're all human. We're all flawed. You know, we're flawed. People are just flawed. But no, she's not a flawed. She's a villain. She's a straight up fucking Batman villain.
She is still imperfect herself. She's clearly a villain, and the film never shies away from the fact that she is a bad person.
No. I'm not talking about, like, Joker. When we see that he goes through shit and we sympathize with him. Not sympathize, we empathize with him. And we empathize with him. No, like, because there's a difference between empathize and sympathize. I can't really, like, empathize is more like a baseline, like, oh, that's, I feel bad for you. But sympathize is more like, but this is, I think we're buffering again, damn it. Okay, I think we're back. I think my internet went out for a second right then. If it didn't, then I just to be sure, I fucked around with it to make sure it didn't go out. Like I said before, there were many instances of them trying to make her look like she's secretly a good person, like she was some kind of anti-hero type character. Is well, they don't shy away from her being a villain. Oh yeah, like the time when she went in that whole, when she went into that, you mean the time where she went into the police station and shot the cops with a beanbag gun instead of just shooting them, like Harley Quinn the villain would have done? You mean that, when they tried to softball that shit? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. She was softballing through this entire goddamn movie because they couldn't help, because they couldn't stand just making her look straight up like a straight up villain. Okay, KNF, I think that says. Sympathy is feeling for someone. Empathy is feeling what they're feeling, more or less. Okay.
And she pines after the Joker and makes mistakes in how to handle situations that she's in. The same goes for the other birds of prey, who are all flawed people trying their best to deal with unfair situations that often, but not always, stem from their place in society due to their gender. This is how you do a feminist film without screaming about.
For one thing, they're flawed, but see, you couldn't really tell from this film. Because like I said, they tried so hard to make Harley Quinn not a villain. She didn't kill I'll never get over that damn police station scene. She never fucking kills any cops. She kills other, like, thugs and shit, but she doesn't kill any cops. Sorry, but no. She kills other thugs, but not cops. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm sorry, but no. She's not, and I've seen. That's just my outlook on that, though. But, like, they try to, either you're supposed to have, like, sympathy for them. Because I don't really see, like, the flawed bit. I don't really see, like, oh, they're flawed. They're so flawed, and they have problems and hang-ups, too, and they're not perfect people. Like, okay, that kind of, but it's like I said, it's like baseline, it's like surface level shit. I don't feel like, oh, well, they've been through some rough oh, God, here we go again. Some people are saying F in the chat. Damn it. Okay, now people are saying we're back. Okay. Phantom of the Night, $4.99 super chat. DC has been pushing Harley to be more of an anti-hero in the past few years. Don't know what she's talking about. Yeah, I didn't feel like Harley was a villain in Bop, like, at all. Like I said, Phantom of the Night said, more of an anti-hero than anything else. And the other ones, like I said, they have flaws, but it's minor when you compare them to everyone else in the fucking film, who are just flat out evil. Like, even Harley, when you compare her to other villains, like, no, she's an anti-hero, and everyone else is just flat out evil. Okay.
About how feminist your film is. And this isn't me caving to the toxic fanboys who whine about every film that has women in it being somehow woke culture and like, oh look, they're saying
it's not that fucking movie has women in it. It's how they're used to be in the film. Like, you just fucking criticized you just criticized Avengers Endgame for that shit, which is another movie that the toxic fanboys have been complaining about. Ashley Ann, $10 super chat. Your Batwoman review was the first video of yours that I saw. You had me on the floor laughing. I knew I had to subscribe to you. Have you ever thought about doing movies or more, more movie reviews and reactions? Well, yeah, I got a channel full of them. Like, I want to do more. I got some other stuff I'm gonna work on. Just gotta get that shit done. Ugh. I've got to finish my Dracula series, and Sooner or later, I'm gonna do that third Zootopia comic reaction. I swear I will, but I'm just waiting for him to release all the pages before I do any of that. But anyway, let's get back to this.
Men are bad because, look, a woman actually had a place in a movie. Women should be allowed to be in things. But we should also critique companies like Disney when they only showcase the barest of safe.
So basically, you're saying it's okay for you to criticize when women are when women are being pandered to in comic book films, but men aren't allowed to do that because they're just whining. They're just fucking whining. Even though they complain about this, they've complained about Endgame. They've complained about that same scene, but I guess that's not okay. That's not okay because you just say it's bad because it's just women.
Feminist themes because it's marketable. And I'm also not saying that Harley Quinn is somehow the peak in feminist filmmaking, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for big budget superhero films.
Yeah, to make a villain who has murdered children into a feminist icon. That's what we need. That's what we need, baby!
This isn't me trying to say that we need to make feminism marketable, that we need to make the marketable feminist. And as a result, despite this...
you know that goes in the wrong direction, right? We need to make the marketable feminist. No. Because if it's not marketable, no one's gonna fucking like it. Oh. We need to make all the other established stuff feminist. Force people to like it. and then you wonder why dudes on the internet combat this fucking bullshit. Because you're literally saying, we should just force this shit. Force it. We shouldn't be making feminism marketable. We should be making the marketable feminist. Which is like so fucking manipulative, and you're basically you are validating these so-called neckbeard, toxic fanboys. You're validating their complaints. Like, they think everything in the new in the media is feminist agenda, when you just said you want a feminist agenda in media. Ugh.
Being a totally insane film, this is perhaps the DC Comics franchise's most grounded film since The Dark Knight Rises.
No, it isn't! What the fuck? This is the most grounded film since The Dark Knight Rises? What? Let's go back and listen to that again.
Film, this is perhaps the DC Comics franchise's most grounded film since The Dark Knight Rises.
Just fuck the Joker. Fuck the Joker movie. Fuck it! You just skipped right over that one. This is the most grounded DC film since The Dark Knight Rises. Excuse me. Didn't even acknowledge Joker. Are you like, what the fuck? Mike Testa, 199 Super Chat. Could you do more Magic Girl Squad episode streams? No. I did that first episode and that's all I needed to do. Sorry, but no. Red Rose Spark, they have to make feminism everywhere and have no one like the beliefs being punished. They are sexist. Like, this is the most grounded DC film since The Dark Knight Rises. What? What? No! Even The Dark Knight Rises wasn't that fucking grounded at that point. What the fuck? Oh, God. Yeah, this is just a total F you to Joker. I don't give a fuck what you say. There's no way you just forgot about that movie. All the fucking hype, the Oscar buzz, there's all the $1 billion fucking box office. No way you forgot about that. This is the most grounded film since The Dark Knight Rises. And that smug fucking look on her face. You completely fucking Joker in the ass. Get the fuck out of here.
Not only because its themes feel so relatable and small scale compared to the operatic stories of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, but also because the stakes feel small too. It's ultimately a heist movie that, even if the main heroes fail...
It's not a heist movie. There's one scene where, like, they casually walk into a fucking bank, and you don't even see inside of the bank. and they take the jewel, or like the diamond out, and then Cassandra Cain pickpockets it from Zaz, and then runs off with. That's not a heist. That's not a fucking heist. They're just after a diamond. There's no heisting going on. Jake the Surgeon, $5 super chat. It's so grounded, this heifer bought a hyena and casually keeps it in her apartment. Yeah, Kyle R, the stakes feel small, massive rainbow explosions in the background. And like the part that could have been the most big scale, it could have been really that could have been really action packed. The heist element is completely taken out because all they go to Gotham City Imports, they walk in, they get the fucking diamond, and then Cassandra Cain pickpockets it from Zaz. So I don't know where this heist element, I don't know what the fuck where she's getting that from.
The big bad villain isn't all that big a fish anyways. And that's perfectly okay, because this is a film about finding yourself, defining yourself.
Yeah, I really want to see the psychopath find themselves.
We don't need a beam to the sky or world-ending threats to get us there. Something that I wish Suicide Squad had understood. All this, and I have...
For one thing, that's not a Harley Quinn movie. It's a fucking ensemble film. Which is what Birds of Prey was supposed to be. So already you're highlighting one of the biggest fucking flaws about Birds of Prey. That it isn't even a fucking ensemble film. It's a vehicle for Harley Quinn. It's made all about her, even though there's other people in the goddamn movie. I wish Suicide Squad would have prioritized Harley over everyone else. Yeah, of course you do, you fucking asshole!
I haven't even mentioned the film's amazing action set pieces. Unlike other superhero films where the action...
I'm gonna tell y'all why these action scenes in Bop are really terrible. They're not choreographed that well. I mean, people were going around, well, the guy from John Wick did the choreography. Well, he was asleep. He was a fucking sleep.
Can tend to get very samey throughout. Each and every action scene in this film brings something completely new to the table. And as
you mean her doing that same leg move and hitting people with bats and shit? Yeah, it's basically, they're very sometimes they're very samey too, for most of the film, especially when it's just Harley against a bunch of dudes. She does the leg thing, she does the gymnastics thing, she hits a motherfucker with a bat, and that's about it. These, Mike Testa, 199 super chat. These people must mean go animate Bop Grounded. Oh, Super Nazi Ghost said, no, the guy from John Wick was high and in a coma. Criminal Imagination says NPCs idolize villains makes sense since they act like villains. Rydia Farron? I know I said I was going to bed, but didn't Suicide Squad mainly focus on Harley and Deadshot? It felt like it. Kinda, but not really. It felt like it, like at first, but not really, because then it gets more into the guy. And then it gets more into Enchantress and the fire dude, Diablo. Yeah. And what happened to his family, which is actually kind of compelling. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I gotta compliment Suicide Squad now because people's critiques of Bop are so people's praise of Bop is so fucking bad. I mean, I'm sorry, but like Suicide Squad felt more like an ensemble film. Like, just because Margot Robbie and Will Smith were the bigger actors, and yeah, there was more attention a little more attention put on them, doesn't mean that the film prioritized them. The film didn't, like Suicide Squad didn't prioritize them over everyone else. Felt like people, I'm not gonna say that everyone got equal time, but it felt like a ensemble film compared to this piece of shit.
Honestly a visual feast for the eyes. It's a pop art festive glitter bomb explosion of creative ideas, with each set piece feeling
I already explained why this isn't creative. Oh, and this is one scene right here. Let's talk about action scenes being so good in this film. There's this one scene, this big guy, like, and plus this guy is the only one who gets the drop on Harley, by the way. It's this big guy, he's got her in a fucking choke. He's basically choking her out. And Cassandra Cain comes up right next to him while he's choking her out on their left. And she's right next to him. And Harley openly says, like very audibly says, "A little help here?" Like trying to signal Cassandra Cain to help her out. And instead of this thug hearing that and using context clues to figure out what the hell was happening, he just kind of continued to sit there, stand there and choke her without noticing anything, when he could have easily. But then Cassandra Cain gives Harley a lighter right here to set his beard on fire to break hold from him. But she's right there. Like, the guy could have easily looked right at her and just kicked Cassandra. And the guy could have looked directly at Cassandra Cain and kicked her in the fucking face to stop her. But he just kind of like, "No, I'm just going to choke you. I'm just going to stand here and choke you. Break free from me because I can't fight back because you're the female protagonist. Just going to go in there and choke you." It was so dumb. Like, there's so many options. Like, supposedly this was an R-rated movie, but you can't show a kid being kicked in the face. Because that's what any bad guy would have done. He's already choking Harley out. These are supposed to be like the worst of the worst, like the worst thugs and mercenaries out to get these two. But he looks at this little girl, like, obviously helping her escape from his clutches, and he doesn't kick her in the face. She was right there at foot level of this motherfucker, and he's just standing there. Like, if you really pay attention to these action scenes, like these fight scenes, they suck ass. They're not that great. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. $4.99 super chat. I found EFAP after you and was stoked to find out that you guys did collabs. Love you, girl. The name's Tanny. Okay, I got it. Tanny. By the way, have a good stream. Thank you, Tanny. Phantom of the Night, $9.99 super chat. The reason Bob's fight scenes suck and John Wick's work is that John Wick's director has action experience and was also Keanu's stunt double for The Matrix, so he knows what his lead is capable of. Exactly. And in this one, you think they would make these fucking bitches go and train and shit? No, just do these moves. Because like for real, let's be honest. And I'm not saying these are all female actors, but a lot of these actresses, they just give them the bare minimum of shit to do, and they just like mostly rely on stunt doubles. They do the bare minimum, like, yeah, I'll go play like for a couple week like fight class, but like the men, they'll like prepare for the film before the fucking shooting even starts. They'll go to like month-long retreats to learn how to fight. They'll hang out with U.S. Army soldiers and shit. And like they might let their stunt double do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all actors, it's not all actresses, but I'm just saying, like, generally. Why do you think all these actresses look fucking awkward as hell in these fight scenes? Especially the scene when they were all in that room with all the hands sticking out of the floor, because like they were so awkward looking because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Calistiana 17. John Wick is a one-man genocide, but Harley didn't murder one person in her movie. Both are already. Did she kill that? Yeah, she did kill one guy. That guy who sexually assaulted, tried to sexually assault her. And yeah, I only remember her. I only remember her killing one person. I'm sorry. Murder one person in her movie. Both are rated R. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a fucking PG-13 movie masquerading as an R-rated film. This is not an R-rated film to me. Oh, Olivia Gall can't stick around. Just popping in to tell y'all have a good night. You guys are great. Always loved how lighthearted the overall mood of the streams are. Night JL, night chat. Good night. Good night. Single player Carl. The men will do a full body makeover as the women will learn basic poses and then call out and then call cut when it's time to do a 16th stunt shoot. Yeah, basically, like I'm gonna be honest, like some of them don't work as hard as the men. They don't. I'm just saying. Now, when Margot Robbie does her thing, I can believe that she did the work, especially with Suicide Squad. But like these other chicks,
unique and yet fully cohesive. Every time an action scene came up, I got incredibly excited. And this may be my favorite action in any superhero movie ever. Unless, of course, you count John Wick as a superhero movie, which, I mean, okay, I guess I kind of do. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, or The Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, honestly, both versions of the title are really clunky, is a flawed film. It has too much narration at times, and the non-linear structure, while showcasing Harley's fractured mental landscape, can get a tad overindulgent at times. And there are some bigger problems within the film that I've alluded to, that even some in my comments on my channel have discussed.
Yeah, I think the guy after this, like the next review we're gonna do, he tries to, because the pacing is shit, and they try to like their big excuses. This person and the other reviewer, their big excuse is, well, she's crazy and she's not a reliable narrator, and that's why the pacing is bad. That's why the pacing's all over the place, because she's crazy.
Discussed, such as the aforementioned queer coding of an emasculated man implying gay men are somehow less masculine, as well as the problematic depiction of neurodivergency inherent in Harley Quinn as a
what? He's gay because he feels a man. Wait, what did you say?
And there are some bigger problems within the film that I've alluded to, that even some in my comments on my channel have discussed, such as the aforementioned queer coding of an emasculated man implying gay men are somehow less masculine, as
no, it's actually implying that gay men are fucking misogynistic because they're struggling with their gayness, which is really shitty. Or just get the gay men just flat out misogynistic because the fucking writing is garbage. They're saying emasculated men are just gay. No, where'd you get that? You almost had a fucking critique. You almost had a fucking real critique of this film and you fucked it up.
As well as the problematic depiction of neurodivergency inherent in Harley Quinn as a character in every form that she has taken in comics, TV shows, and movies. Or the
she's neurodivergent, so she should be a good person. I already know where that argument's gonna go.
fact that people of color are framed as the fun sidekicks to a white woman lead. All of these problems.
What?
Quinn is a character in every form that she has taken in comics, TV shows, and movies. Or the fact that people of color are framed as the fun sidekicks to a white woman lead.
I never got the idea that Black Canary was a fun, a fun minority lead. Never. Because like I said, these motherfuckers don't have characters. And Black Canary and I already forgot it. Well, Montoya. I was gonna say the actress's name, but I forgot the actress's name. But Montoya and Black Canary are not fun, comedic follies to Harley Quinn's character. No, they're both grizzled and pissy the whole fucking movie. What are you talking about? Well, they weren't the leads, so they were clearly like comedic foils to Harley Quinn, like comedic sidekicks, because that's just how I see people of color in films.
All of these problems are very much there. And while I do...
No, I will say that, yeah, they were kind of like, these characters, side characters, I will say these side characters were pushed to the side for it to be a Harley Quinn vehicle. But you're making it about race and just not the fact that they want to prioritize Harley Quinn because they wanted their own Deadpoolish type film.
Wish to analyze the queer coding within this film once it comes out on DVD and I'm actually able to analyze it a little bit more thoroughly. I will say that many people of color have had a lot of disparate thoughts in this film, some people condemning it, some people praising it, and I don't think that I as a white person have the right to say anything specific on that front, but I will say that
but you did.
You should go and check out those voices from that community and their thoughts on this film, because I really think it's worthwhile to dive into how this film depicts people of color. So check out the links in the description below for some articles from people of color on this film. What I can say is this film really, really spoke to me and meant a lot to me, and I'm just so
but they set aside people of color. How could this movie possibly speak to you?
excited and so happy that it exists. It may not be and it's an achievement that also
They reconnected again. Okay. Alright, I think we're back. I think we're okay again. Anyway. Alright, and you guys can hear me, right? Because my modulator, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, it wasn't on. It was turned off. I forgot to turn that on before turning on OBS. Like I usually do. Okay. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? Yeah, the fart dude came back. We went the whole stream without fucking seeing his ass, and then he just shows up right when I have my internet problems. Like all this bad luck at once. Anyway, yeah, let's finish this up because it's already fucking midnight, and I want to get to this other guy's review. I'm definitely getting it. Like if we have to keep doing this until 1 o'clock, that's what we're gonna do. Because I'm not just gonna do these 2 reviews and then end it there, because the last guy is like, he's a hoot.
it may not be
It's so weird. Oh my god. Yep, see, it reconnected again, like I said. It went out and reconnected again. So, yeah, like I said, we're going to have to do this another night tomorrow. Because it just keeps doing the same shit over and over again, and it's grating on my damn nerves.